And you need us to talk.
Ideally, yeah. If you could talk a little bit, that'd be great. Just so I could
That's kind of
No,
to be here for that.
just test the
talky
audio.
thing.
the Viktor show.
Nah.
I'll just be all the characters. It's fine.
We'll just be the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the audio is good.
Perfect. Thank you for that. In that case, then, good hello and welcome to Cascade Arc 4, Part 22. It's the 7th of June somehow, 2025. I'm Viktor the GM, and here are the players.
Hi, I'm Kalli, and I play Ignysera, who is Dragonfolk Warrior who bears a halo of fire.
Good evening, my name is Alexander. Tonight I'm going to be playing Lockheart Dourf, who's an empathic speaker and exactly the sort of person who wants interpreting the law.
Hello, I'm Hannah, and I'm playing Myr'ra Pentergast, a Helborn Adept who sheds her skin.
Hi everyone, I'm Chris, and I'm playing Nori Nediam, Half-Elven explorer who likes to infiltrate.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
What is remember from last time?
Oh,
Being battered and bruised.
yeah. We got beat up.
He's also
I
did
wrote
well.
big fight, many cats.
Mm-hmm.
I was fine.
Yeah.
But
I also wrote Madam TTOT equals super chill.
Yep.
super chill.
Super
Great
chill,
lady.
really not bothered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we found out at the end of the session, which we'll maybe get to in a second.
Mhm.
Why? Because she's wow.
Mm.
Yep.
But yeah, Nori spotted something in the marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Certain characters hiding in the shadows, trying to infiltrate the camp. Were you here for that? We left it a fortnight ago.
I think Alexander was here for the end of the session, right? And I think you did get the cliffhanger, if you even remember the session. And it was Nori spotting, because it was a GM intrusion role Nori got, and it was spotting the cat hidden in the kind of archways of the marketplace.
So from there, it escalated very, very quickly. They attacked first, even though I tried to pretend that we didn't see them. Suddenly we were getting attacked by some sort of bolt that disintegrated whenever it hit anything. So just another way of covering their tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Better assassins than me, it seems.
You're not an assassin, are you? You outing yourself?
Well,
Nori backstory.
I haven't got that far yet. No. I haven't got those skills yet.
Is it like
Sorry,
young Nori being like, I'm not quite an assassin yet, I'm definitely an assassin, but I've not had my first kill yet, but I'm definitely still an assassin. I'm in the assassin club, I've got the badge.
You still don't know what I did in the city while I was on my own.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the battle escalated very, very quickly.
We
I
managed
went into
to.
attack.
No, go.
No, carry on. You've jumped in there. So yeah, you just came in as I went to attack. So
Yeah, Nori was by himself for quite a long time. And then even when we arrived, was by himself for quite a long time. And managed to really hold his own while we slipped and slid and fell off quite a lot of rooftop.
Now you say held my own.
Did.
I dodged.
You
I moved.
did.
Like, it took three of us to try on one other one. And Nori managed to keep going.
Huh?
All by himself.
Yeah, Nori and the
Even after
Rakishan,
like single boat.
like the assassin
didn't
with
like them.
Nori, or I guess the Rakishan like infiltrator, I guess, with Nori, 1-on-1 for like the whole session basically, and Nori didn't fall. Definitely tried longer than they should have with a sword though. Definitely should have switched out
Yes.
to the dagger much
I'm
quicker, as we all
Very,
learned.
very glad I got knocked out of my hand.
It was for the good of everyone.
Get poisoned.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
poison for you.
But like me
yeah,
and
you're
Sean got poisoned like every second moment. It's like, oh, we're poisoned again.
But like, so between the two people in that team that got poisoned, which was obviously Falkwin and yourself, Myr'ra, like you countermeasured it away, right?
That was fun. That was a good time.
Falkwin burnt his Elven buff
That was also cool.
to just burn it out of his veins, since he was in full on charged mode with her. So yeah, it was good. Very good. You did very well. And obviously, Ignysera doing insane amounts of damage with that sword.
Oh god.
And everyone, except maybe, obviously, Lockhart, learning how fireproof Ignysera is generally.
Oh yes, because one of them they had the golden talks we learnt about, and the one we were fighting took it off and exploded.
Yeah, it was
Like
our
really
last
bad,
ditch.
like really
You didn't
big
win.
explosion.
Snap. Boom.
It was a lot.
Building caves in.
And
And I just like, hello,
Hi.
rolled off.
hi.
I got to, like take 2 points of damage off the fire, and Ignysera was just like, I take no damage.
Yeah.
It was very cool.
Poor Falkwin. Wasn't quite as lucky. They did make a roll to obviously everybody made the roll I think to half the damage though, which was good.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
yeah. So yeah, I think it was 5 damage halved, but it would have been 10 unhalved, so it was going to be quite a significant explosion as an AoE.
Now, what we kind of haven't mentioned is we were on our knees, or I was certainly on my knees. I think I finished on 3 might, 5 speed, and 2 intellect. So this was. I would have fought the Farron before I fought this guy again. Put it that way. The Farron seemed gentler. So, never took. But again, no bow. My bow is locked away in a certain little garage. So, I'm going to have quick words with a little friend of ours before this episode proceeds if I'm going into the jungle here.
I mean, the problem is Ben's out for the count for a couple of hours now because of. Yep, so you're going to narratively fill some hours and then wander in the jungle with your bow, hopefully.
It's called rest.
We need some rest. Yeah.
Lots of rest.
Goodbye, Lockhart will protect you all.
We said that you had to lie down after reading the thesis. It was a lot to take in. You're like, oh no. Also that you hung back to also kind of protect Madame TTOT would be the assumption. Also, bless you, Kalli.
Really doesn't seem to before sorry, I'm going to jump all over the place. Falkwin meditated on the Abradak equation.
Yes.
Which was crazy.
That's important. Yeah.
Possibly the Abradak equation is sentient, is what I heard.
Yeah, that's what I've got. Abradak equation sentient? Question.
Yeah. They were in like
Creepy
a
child.
memory, and then like bits of the memory weren't there and kept disappearing, and there was a void. Falkwin tried to jump in it, and then they were in Ali Ben's memory, and it was like children playing, town, lovely, trickling river, and then everyone was gone, and there was just a small creepy child who said something equally creepy.
Yeah, it was like,
do you want to play?
Yeah, it's like, do you want to play with me, or are you here to play with me? Yeah.
I hate it so much.
No, I do not.
But the child seemed to look like an iron root from the the elven
But,
ears,
like, totally.
straight black hair, etc. Yeah, kind of black eyes.
I hate
We've
it.
just moved into Realm of the Cthulhu.
Yep. Yes, indeed. So we definitely had some exploration of the Abradak equation as well at the start, which Falcon was quite happy with. And also, he asked the question about. He tried to read a book that he knew he'd read in his memory because his first memory was his dorm at the Arcanatrix. But then after like a couple of minutes of being there, like Alabama was like, "This isn't how I remember it. Like we'd spent a lot of time here." And then she turns around and goes, "And that was." The door's gone, and he turns around and one of the 4 walls is just void. It's just gone into darkness. She goes and puts her hand out, and it's just her hand in nothingness. And goes, don't really know what I was expecting to happen. And then, obviously, Sean, more than the Falcon, was like, oh, I want to jump in it.
I liked the trying to get under the floorboards.
Oh yeah, he leaned down to try and
that was
touch the
cool.
underneath of the floor, but his hand just kept going, and he's like, oh. There isn't an underneath. And he's like, can I jump out? And he's like, I don't think you should try that. I think you should let me try and enforce my will over this. It was the Alabama approach of let me try and change. If this is a construct of our heads, let's try and change it. And then that's when she ended up in her memory. But the important kind of little detail is it's stuff she noted was out of place, not things Falkwin noticed were out of place. So she did. Her theory was, I don't think this knows I'm here. It hasn't accounted for me being present. She picked up a book off a shelf. He was like, "Oh, I've read that like 3 times." And then it's like, "Well, can you read me any of it now?" He goes, "Oh, actually, no, I don't remember any of it." Then when he came out of the vision, the meditation, he was like, "Can I remember the book details again?" I'm like, "Yeah, they are there. It's just in that place they weren't." And kind of the same for Aluben's memory. It seems like she was waiting on someone at a picnic on the banking of a river. There was like a road, a town, and then obviously there was children playing down at the far side of the river. There was like noise of the town and trade day or whatever, big elven spires, etc. And then all of a sudden all the sound of the town was gone. You look over and it was just black at the other side of the road. And then that's when they were like, "Let's go see the children." And then as they were walking there was a tug on the back of their like clothing being like, "Are you here to play with me?" Or whatever the child said. And that's when they turned around seeing the thing, and obviously the shock of seeing it, they shunted right out of the memory. So yeah, creepy stuff, you know. And then a fight with cats. And then at the end of the fight there was a big crack of thunder and lightning. And that was at Madame TTOT's residence, so you'd be quite familiar with that, Lockheart. And yeah, many of the brothers, the 5 brothers, they also got named as well, I guess. That's a thing. Problem is that was wrote on that sheet of paper that has ceased to exist.
Oh, I think it's in the NPC chat.
In Josh.
So. Yeah.
Raz. Hicks. Fuck. Tusk.
Book's a task.
Book's a task.
Chucksa.
Kiza?
Chakiza.
Yeah, the brothers.
One that was with Nori was in Josh.
Yeah,
he couldn't make it
That's
to the
the
room.
important one.
No, he wasn't doing great. He was mostly just moving people into shelters for most of it.
It's a bit confused.
Yeah, whereas Raz, the bigger, kind of more buff one, is the one like manhandling a lot of the cats outside Madame TTOT's location. He didn't seem to need much help. He was quite handy just picking them up and dispatching them. Never mind the ones that seemingly got struck by lightning. Yeah.
And Ignysera decided to bring you a present, Lockhart.
Oh yes, we've brought you a present. It's a cat.
They took one alive.
We took one. So you can talk to them.
Yeah.
Woo!
We can see what
Let's
is going on.
I take it we're making sure it can't take its torque off.
Yes. We have, yeah.
However, we still don't know what Madame TTOT's reaction is to having one of them alive yet, so we'll see where that leads.
Well, let's find out now, shall we? So,
Probably still super chill.
as we jump back in, you guys have obviously convened at Madame TTOT's like residence. You have an unconscious cat in tow. As you handle that, obviously Lockhart is there to greet you all. Having been aware of the kerfuffle at this side of the town, at least, rather than the marketplace. And, yeah, what's the plan? And to my knowledge, you have not technically bound this cat up yet.
We tie up the cat.
Who's doing that?
Yes.
Who's rolling for it?
Oh, help someone.
What kind of role would it be? I might roll me.
Remember that skill that I just got rid of? You meant that, didn't you?
What skill?
Do we have a thing? Who has a thing?
I can teleport into Margot.
What, the exploding cat?
Yep. A winter friend scarf. We could use that.
I was thinking that last time as well. I was like, we could just tie him up in the scarves we've got.
I feel very, very temperate.
Perfectly climate.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like a form of like eco-torture.
Yeah. As I say, I'm trained in animal handling, but I feel that's not necessarily the most help.
I have a basic sewing kit. Do I have some really good thread?
stitch their hands together.
Stitch their hands together.
I don't think it would be difficult to find something to tie them up with. It's just who's willing to do the actual rope work.
We all look at Nori.
I am, but I'm going to put something into chat because I don't know what I would roll against to do this.
Okay.
Would it just be a speed roll? That's all I've kind of got, but I can put this in the chat.
I mean, I don't know if it's super appropriate, but why not? Why not? It
It's
is
a bit of dexterity.
Manual dexterity is ticked. That's really all it really asks for. And tying up ropes feels. Yep.
So I'll roll speed with an asset.
So, if that's what it is, yeah. Each use lasts up to a minute. Praise an asset to any task. Yep. Yep. And it costs you 2 speed points to obviously use this, but I'm assuming your edge covers that.
Yes.
Any effort?
I will use.
Okay. And you're not zeroed on anything, are you? So you're
No. No.
no debilitations.
There is no way I was going to do that if it was any case.
You're not in armor either, are you?
I have light armor.
Okay. So remember, any effort that you spend with speed tasks should be more expensive for you. Unless you've got something that mitigates that. Because light armor, medium armor, and heavy armor adds 1, 2, or 3 points to the cost of speed effort.
Did have something that negated that, but
Let me have a look, because it might be on your sheet as well somewhere.
maybe I don't.
Maybe you don't. It would have been like practice in armor or something like that. It would have been something akin to that. Let's have a look.
No, I've got the light and medium weapons, but I don't have.
No. So anytime you're spending speed, remember yours is 1 extra cost. For edge, that is. Sorry, for effort specifically, not for abilities. So if you're spending, how many levels of effort was it?
1.
1. So that's 4 points for the effort, and then it'll be 2 points. So that's 6 that you're spending. What's your edge? On speed?
2.
2. So 4 points of your speed you need to spend for me, and then you can do that. Just a mechanic that doesn't often come up, but it's important to remember if you're in armor. It does matter.
Cost.
Oh. You just took a thing for this.
I'm going to put this into chat, shall I?
Yep.
Yay.
I'll roll that again, shall I?
Why don't you? Yes, with this new ability that you're getting a full showcase of your abilities. Also, hi to Adam in the chat as well.
It's going to cost me another 4 as well, isn't it?
No, it says reroll. It doesn't say do the task from scratch again, right?
Reroll.
Yeah.
Okay. And that was with an asset.
Yeah.
Difficulty unknown. Effort to roll 1 again. So much better.
It's okay. So that is what, 10?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me just take a very tense moment to write all this down. But look at that, you got use out of that ability immediately.
Oh, goody!
But remember, that's that used now.
Yes.
Until you make a
Yes,
10-hour
I'm well
recovery
aware.
roll, which arguably you're not that far off wanting.
I hope not.
So just make sure you're tracking when you've used that and not. But as a once per day, it's pretty damn good. Or a once per recovery. Okay, so you've tied up the cat reasonably well. It makes sense that you're not going to be on top of your game given how ridiculously beat up you are. Also, I'm not going to read into it, so if big F here, right, and the possibilities of the multiverse, if this Rakishin escapes, it gives Nori an excuse to kill it. Which might be something in Nori's subconscious of this thing really beat me up, so I want to kill it. I could read into that. But I won't.
But no idea what you mean.
Yeah, same.
Is this the one that you were toe-to-toe with then?
Mhm.
Yes. Yes. Ignysera took the last hit and decided to knock him out, or knock it out. We don't know if it's male or female yet. And instead of killing, she had the option of both. She had the power for both and chose to knock out.
She basically halved the last one, anyway, with one swing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was,
Slap the cat.
Ignysera's.
I don't remember the exact amount of damage, but it was a lot. It was a lot. Yeah. In one go. Fond memories of Riven, that's all I'm saying. With the combat numbers, definitely. Okay, so you've got a tied up cat in Madame TTOT's residence. Ras wasn't super excited about the idea of letting a living cat in the residence, but obviously Madame TTOT was just like hushing him very quickly, being like, no, it'll be fine. We've tied him up, see?
Just.
So yeah, you've got him lying on the floor in the middle of the kind of, not quite 70s conversation pit part of her residence. Kind of sinking part of the floor that's near the fire pit. But yeah, what's the plan?
Just make sure that we've kind of gone over the Rakshan and taken off any obvious weapons and all that stuff. So just make sure, yeah.
The interesting thing is,
hidden.
like, so when you're looking over the stuff as well, like with this one, it kind of dawns on you that there's a bunch of dead ones outside with collars on.
Oh, we should tell someone.
Oh yeah.
We tell Rashed.
Yeah.
If you take... Oh, I mime it. I was like, I mime / draw. I pull out a page
if
of my notebook.
TTOT is there, we can be like, can you tell them what we're talking about? But yeah, we should we say that to her, and then we need give this information that they're explosive. Don't remove the collars or
break.
She kind of like
They
shakes her
look like
head a
that-
bit and she goes,
that
how
roof over
barbaric.
there.
And then she says something in Saurian to Rask, and he like looks down at one and just like goes to pick it up by the collar. And obviously it's one that's like quite crispy that has been obviously struck by lightning. It might have been the central one. And the collar like snaps as he picks it up. As if like when the body hits the ground, it obviously breaks into like very crispy like dust, I guess, at this point. And he kind of just looks at it as if, oh, but then nothing happens. But he's that poised moment of, isn't something meant to happen? And he kind of looks round. And like his shoulders slump as if, huh?
Maybe it's an intention thing? Maybe they've got a mean...
They have to be...
Or maybe it blew up anyway in the lightning.
They have to be alive. Uses...
Can I do some kind of magic scam investigation without touching?
Also,
So-
if that one was crispy, maybe that one had like a less powerful one. Maybe they've got different ranges. Or something.
Yeah, maybe it does something. They're not all explosive. That one actually.
Hannah,
Yeah,
are you a
releases
double
all
agent
100%.
this week?
Maybe if they remove it themselves.
Huh?
Are you a double agent this week? Because I'm just noticing your...
Oh. Sorry. Temporary tattoos from a fair. I was modelling the...
Stamp.
Yeah.
Just while we're dealing with the Rakishans, and you're like, yeah, just hiding my like Rakishan land tattoo, like my stamp for getting in.
And you know that was a cat.
Yay!
Little skeleton cat.
Nice.
Oh, skull cat, cute.
This one's a bird. Look, it's me.
Yeah.
I can't
One
forget
chasing
those
the other.
birds.
Amazing. So, what is it you're
I'm so
wanting to? Do you want to like use knowledge to try and understand what's happening, or do you want to use scan to get more in the its in the mechanisms?
Yeah.
Like scan
Should I
would
use
teach you
scan
more
on the-
than just trying to look at it and work out how it would work based on your knowledge of magic, right?
Can I use scan? Should I use it on the unconscious one to see if we can tell something from, or should I use it on a crispy one?
Could use it on both, right? To compare the results.
Put them together.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So are you wanting to scan them at the same time? Then yeah, because it's an area you can
Yeah.
scan, right? So if
Yeah.
you put two next to each
So then I
other,
can try and
the dead one and the living
compare.
one, yeah, one that
Okay.
Rask hasn't lifted.
Yes.
Mhm.
Gently move.
Yep.
Okay, I'll pop scanning
While
and then I'll do an
Anna's rolling.
intellect roll.
What was that, Nori?
Something we did forget to mention from last week.
Yeah.
We have now discovered that Myr'ra, can now change from her person to her alter ego at will. And she's
Just
done
for
it
shits
quite
and
well.
gigs.
My
Yeah.
edge now covers the amount of effort it would need to do it for free. So I now don't need to roll to turn in and out of Chromia, which is fun. Unless other things happen. That means I do need to spend. So we'll find out. Okay.
Not bad. So what we got there?
So 20.
Not bad. So you've got these two lying side by side, and it does seem to be that there is energy transference between the body and the collar
Oh.
from the living one only.
Oh. Okay. Can I feel? Does it? I don't know if fire magic has a feel, but like
It's celestial.
celestial. That makes sense. Fire and ice. Yes. I let people know that. I think it is some kind of feedback loop. So probably those that are deceased were not at risk. Although I don't know what would happen if someone else put one on. I don't know if you.
Do you want to spend another level of effort?
Don't try that.
Yeah, I'll spend another level of it.
Okay.
Of course.
Mhm.
Why would I not?
So that's obviously an addition to the of that task, if that
Yes.
makes sense.
Yeah. I also am going to need a rest.
Yep. The living one's energy tether
Mhm.
between the torque and itself. So it's as if the energy
Mhm.
of itself, feeds into the torque to
Yeah.
power it. Hence why it's not happening for the dead one.
Uh-huh.
And there's very faint lines that go off as if it's feeding something else.
Ooh.
Wonder what it could be feeding.
Gems by any
Did I
chance?
ever scan the gem? I don't think I did.
Surely you did.
I feel like
No,
that's
I
a
think-
thing that must have happened, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It must have happened, Hannah.
We don't know. Maybe I was too busy with the floor.
I mean, true. Or the Farron
know the
fight,
last
or
one.
whatever, right? Like, yeah, there was a lot.
No, I'm sure you're right. I'm sure I must have scanned them.
It'd have been
Because I think
weird
that's
if you
how we
hadn't.
initially found there were like energy. Yeah. And then we went to sloth about it.
Yeah.
Or it could all be coming to
Or
We're
the
going to
Direction.
sun, the seat of the sun. You must wear these to be in the seat of the sun, is what we found from the.
And do a roll a geography
Jesus.
test to see where the line's going.
I point out where the lines are.
I mean,
Navigation?
yeah, that'll do too.
Yeah, navigation would
Yeah.
be.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anybody that wants to roll, feel free to do it.
That Nori one.
Yeah, I have
Can
navigation.
I help? By
Sure.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll give Nori. I can't
Basically, like
remember. It makes
pointing.
him like trained or something. Like I
So yeah,
have an app
that way.
Yeah,
So long as you're not, so long as you don't have an inability,
I do not have an inability.
then you can help someone. Yeah.
I am very bad at persuasion, but this doesn't isn't persuasion.
So just
Does that
convincing
count as an
Nori.
asset then, or
An asset, yeah, one level. Yeah.
But yes, I'm back down into single digits and all my things. So rest.
It would have been
Rest,
two
please.
if you had a training or specialization in it and you were helping someone else. It counts as two assets then, which is good.
I'm trained in researching. Doesn't feel like it helps.
Not in this instance, but that's okay.
and again, I keep
You okay there, Nori?
moving too quickly. I keep
You're too fast now.
I will get
You
there.
need to slow Nori down.
Difficulty unknown. Effort to roll 1. Asset 1.
Spending some intellect? Or are we spending some speed? With your quick
Intellect.
wits.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's a 13 plus 9? Is that right? Yeah. Not bad. So with our 22, this is coming from the far side of Dinosaur Island. This isn't going to the Sea of the Sun,
Oh. So feeling something in their camp.
seemingly.
Or their location.
What are they doing?
What are they up to?
It must have been technically if we kept this alive.
Oh, these are
we could
such-
use this
There's a
to
compass.
track our way to the camp.
I mean, yeah.
But we'd keep having to knock
Just
them off.
carry them for. I'll just keep them on my back, and you can just
And then punch
point
them in the
them.
head.
yeah. Every once in a while, I'll just do an elbow, and then we're great.
Tie it in some way that it can't pull its torque off. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just we could go really dark with it and like chop his arms off or something. I don't think that's too far.
what is it about warrior players? Like,
Oh, this is going to be an interesting night, isn't it?
Falkwin comes back. We've got some spare hands for Aluben.
To be fair,
Oh.
there are
Can
some
Kalli
dead
Ben
things
look like
here.
a
Does she
troll?
want any of that? Couple of fangs, couple of
She's out of commission,
Paul-
so
Just
it's
a
up.
couple of the Rakishan in there with, and she can.
It's
do
piled
what
them
she
in.
wants.
help
Um,
herself. That's
Sadly,
gonna be a
she's out of
stinky place.
commission, unfortunately, which means you'd need to decide if you wanted to harvest components.
No, thank you.
No. I think we're
These
good.
are no. I don't want to harvest like sentient.
Thank you.
Where's
It's a
my
bit far.
anger?
So, moving on.
Are there any like distinguishing features on either the torque or just their clothes in general?
No, so they're not wearing much in the way of clothes, and their fur was covered in like sandstone dust, like a kind of ashing dust, like talcum powder levels of that to blend in with the stonework. And as they were fighting, like more and more clouds of that were coming off of them. It also kind of made them hard to track, as well. We do know that there's some kind of level of geomancy, like hinted at towards the Rakishans. So maybe it's some kind of like earth-based camouflage that they've got. Who knows? But it's the first use I've ever really seen of that kind of thing. I am having little experience with Rakishans yourselves, but the clothing itself is pretty much just stuff that blends in with the dark and the color schemes of, things. They don't wear much at all. There's not even like a
There's
bandolier
nothing.
of like blades or anything that they've got on or nothing like that. They don't seem to like. So, however they made those like slate-based weapons, it could again be geomancy-based stuff. It's hard to say. We just know that they seem to be tipped with poison, unless you were Nori. So you've then got like in terms of markings as well, various styles of cat. Like they're not all the exact same, NPC model, right? Because as we know, like the Sun himself, right? Sun himself is like a Black Panther, and Moon is a snow leopard. So there are variations of cat throughout the Rakishan Empire.
But
In the
nothing
same
on
vein, is
torque.
there anything differentiating between the two types? The ones that got hit by lightning and the ones that we brought back?
Other than the obvious, no. Extra crispy and none. Torque-wise, no, it's like a relatively simple gold torque. Doesn't seem to have any detailing on it at all, other than it just looks like it's one solid piece. So it potentially is magically applied.
Might be interested to have a closer look at some of the dust, if that's possible.
Like, I mean, the one that you've got unconscious is still like flaking it if you move them. So, yeah. What would you like to know about the dust? It's very low in fat.
I guess if it looks like something that they've, I guess if it potentially has a magical origin, maybe not much we learn. But if it is something that they're putting on to come and do, to infiltrate specifically for this, or if it is something that they're pitching on sort of anyway in the jungle, or is it stuff that's falling off them, so it's not going to last long? This was a one-time buff, or is this something that they do more long-term?
Yeah, just at a glance, it looks short-term, right? Also, there was a lot of physical activity with the one with Nori. Like, they were both like leaping and jumping and acrobating and Black Widow posing against each other, right? So there was a lot of that, which meant a lot of this dust came off of it. From a quick inspection, granted the lighting level in here isn't amazing, but from a quick inspection it looks like the colour of the stone around you, so it easily could be the stone of the island that they've used from elsewhere. How they've applied it though is... How they would apply it in such a way that would make sense, other than them rolling in dust, is beyond you. But again, you know from Gamble's thesis, there is hints at geomancy when it comes to the Rakishan Empire. Because again, there was rumours of someone raising the actual mountain range itself. I don't think all of that came through, but I said there was rumours of someone raising the mountain range itself. So...
Does anybody have any vials or anything like that? Take some of this dust, fire that into Alabin later.
I've probably got some kind of like tea pouches, although there's little like bags that you make your own tea bags with.
I mean, Madame TTOT just hands you a small clay pot with like a little stopper thing on the end.
That would be easier, thank you.
Yeah, like a little jar. Yeah, a little clay jar.
Yeah.
Just like while you are talking and mussing, she's just fussing around the outside and just occasionally sits things in. Very much.
Knock off a couple of. It's a little bit of the dust. Just
you can fill the jar with the dust if you want. Like there's enough. Yeah. You shake the cat enough that enough dust comes off it. And then you've got some, like a baby food sized jar of dust. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So I love how the plan now is maybe keep the cat unconscious and use it as a compass, or wake it up to interrogate it, or both.
Yeah. Well, now we could wake it up and interrogate it, and then if we learn nothing that we don't want them, then we could just keep them as compass.
Can I?
It gives a new meaning to compass menace, doesn't it? Really? Maybe that's the session title.
I might try and do my 10-minute rest if no one has any objection before we interrogate.
That's a good idea. Let's do a 10-minute rest.
Okay.
I think everyone.
I need an hour, so I'm going to sit. I'll sit with daggers at my waist, just waiting for the interrogation to kick off. Just trying to be.
Who wants
a forceful?
A free +2.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think I need it.
I can also pop out. I can also pop out emotional support pet, which gives +1.
Mm-hmm.
For anyone who would like.
I assume Nori, you want the +2? Yeah, give the +2 to Nori.
You would need to take an hour for Nori to do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting on.
You're going to take your hour though to.
Or am I?
Are you?
Are we going to have an hour?
Well, it's up to you. If you are trying to keep this thing sedate for an hour, then attempting what you want to attempt.
That's true.
Well, if Nori was just sitting in a corner meditating, would that count as an hour while everything else was going on round about?
If you kept serenity, just kept serene while everything blew up around you, like that the gif of Pirates of the Caribbean with the guy walking through the boat as it blows up around him, right? But do you think that's likely to happen, or do you think a cat would chuck a dart at you?
I will try my hour. If it doesn't work, then remember we also have some other friends with us now that can keep a cat under control. But
also other people might want to use an hour rest as well.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely overthinking this. Just wait an hour.
We'll do what?
Yeah, great. Again, anyone wants to cuddle a support pet? Cuddle the pet.
So I want to make a note for Falkwin's benefit as well.
that we've done 10 and
Falkwin, you could use it as well.
Falkwin really needed it
Oh.
as well. You always roll well in your recovery rolls, Hannah. It's like your one gift in this system is like, that's it. It's like solid. Hey, look at that! Dear God.
Roll well on recovery.
Ignysera as well.
Boy.
I rolled
What
terrible
I should
again.
do,
Oh, I'm up to
Put you
full.
this in.
There we go.
other pools.
But remember, it's
Not
5
like
plus... It's 5 plus 3, Nori. Remember that. Plus your tier level as well. So what was that? Sorry, it was... Yeah, you've
9,
not...
12 I've got.
You haven't put your tier up, have you, on your character sheet?
Why?
Because it only says plus 3 there.
It says +3, yeah.
That's 4.
No, it's not
It should,
linking it then.
it should say plus 4 for your recoveries. Let's see. Let's have a look.
Didn't even need all this.
Oh.
Can you sell me some?
Can we have some?
I mean, you can have the 2 that I said.
Yeah.
Yeah, tier 4.
Yeah, my tier does say
recoveries.
4.
Yeah, but in your recovery circle, you've not changed that to 4 as well. Sorry, that should always match. By default,
right,
it should always
yeah,
match
yeah,
your tier, unless you've got other bonuses as well that sit in there.
Okay.
So that was 6 you got.
Even then, it
technically.
would add another one, 6.
Yeah, and then there's +2 from Repair Flash and +1 from Emotional Support Pit.
Yes.
Fine.
Yeah, much better. And remember, they all go into one place.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, for you maybe, but they don't generally have to. They can go anywhere that points are needed, which is nice. Okay, all the admin there done. Lockhart, you spent all your recovery rolls that you had to.
Yeah. I did do the action, which almost took me. Not sure it's worth the 10 minutes for the single point that I need.
That's fine. Is that including the buffs you would have got from people?
I am now full.
Like what? Yeah.
Sorry.
You're now untrained at an immediate distance, apparently. Okay, so we've waited an hour, and Madam TTOT has made everyone some very, very, mint tea, which is not nice. But you do feel more, you feel more mellow. But it definitely is so it's too minty. But you feel better after it. But you wouldn't be eager to drink it again. Then, as she sees your reaction, you go, I knew it was ruined.
Oh. I feel better though. Definitely doing something.
Well, I did the mint to see if it would take away the bitterness.
Maybe some lemon.
Shakes her head. Just goes back through her beaded wall. But yeah, so
Okay.
an hour has passed. You have, reconstituted somewhat. What's the plan with the cat?
Is it still unconscious?
I mean, you have kept it unconscious.
Every once in a while, just giving it. I think we should try and. I think Lockhart should try and talk to the cat and see what we can find out.
Well, Lockhart can talk to it without it being conscious, potentially. Potentially, not entirely sure.
Of course he can.
Lockhart can relive the memories of the cat's childhood. Potentially.
Well, no, so Lockhart might not be able to. It's... I can read minds. I can read rhymes. I can read minds.
It's going well.
I never said I could speak words. Am I some sort of speaker? So it's a surface thought. So it's not like I don't know how deep it's going to go, particularly if it is unconscious. So I might just be getting its hallucinating pain.
Yeah.
unconsciousness.
I think for the sake of simplicity as well, we can assume that because you're bonking it on the head, there isn't much of a surface thoughts thing happening. You would definitely need to like rouse it and then prompt it verbally to then read the thoughts. So that you're trying to get the things that you want it to be thinking about, right?
Yeah.
So guided interrogation, right?
Shall we wake them up? This is also assuming that we can talk to them, but I assume that
Who speaks
Yeah.
Rakishan?
languages. Is it Falkwin that can learn languages quick? Yeah.
Yeah, he has Babel. But does Lockheart? Did you take Babel, or did you?
No, I didn't.
I mean,
Some
again,
of
if
my
they
things I can do without them understanding is usually the pain-inducing thing.
That's what we're hoping for.
now we're
Well, I
going
am.
from interrogation to torture now. And that's a bit...
Which arguably is less than the harvesting conversation we had earlier, so we're still winning, I think.
Yeah, but that
morally.
was just an idea.
So
Chopping
is
arms off
so
is
is the
not torture.
interrogation until you have rolled. It's just an idea.
Yeah, so no, I have nothing that can necessarily help understand. But I get the surface thoughts, or whatever. Doesn't mean I can necessarily interpret and understand them.
Yeah, but some of it might be visual data. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just emotions and feelings.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
yeah, that's just asking questions. You can see whether their thoughts match their
Yeah,
words,
well,
if we can speak to them.
Just like draw, cat. Yes. No. Lizard. Yes. King's best friend.
Okay.
Okay.
So who's waking the cat up?
I can give it the emotional support, Pat.
I can get a bucket of water and have a wet cat.
You need a spray bottle.
Yeah. Somebody could.
Before
Yeah.
it is awoken, can Lockhart do an understand on it while it's...
I mean, in anything relating to its behavior unconscious, yes. If you're trying to like understand it from a social point of view, I don't know how much that would help until it's awake.
He can sleep better.
I mean, you could maybe have an insight into if it's having a nice dream or a bad dream, but it might not be dreaming at all.
I'd take that.
But it does mean you'd need to use it again if you were trying to deal with it consciously.
I'll take that.
Okay, cool. So, who's waking the fucking cat? And who's gonna roll the medicine check to make sure it gets woke up fairly well?
I mean, I could do a repair flesh on it.
You could do, yeah.
Yeah. Because that potentially
Just give
doesn't give it.
Just take it from, because I suppose is it technically debilitated right now?
We're definitely moving it from unconscious to conscious is what I'm happy with
Yeah.
in this terminology. So if you spend the points, which are free,
Yeah.
and do the thing, you can describe how that looks when you do this.
Hmm.
Mm.
Okay. So I suppose repair flesh. So there's, if it has kind of big, even knocking it unconscious, maybe it had a bit of a kind of dent or something.
It's definitely got wounds, like Nori
it's
and
bruised and things like that.
Nori and this cat
And Nori
definitely
is-
danced a lot.
Yeah. So the bits that Nori like kind of slashed him up with and things, you kind of see it kind of look like it kind of stitches back together, but it has again kind of like flame licks as it does, like it's being kind of sewn with like a thread of flame essentially.
Nice.
until they've been repaired enough, and you can kind of still see that they've got like marks and bruises and things, but it's just been the open wounds have been closed.
Yeah. You find as you're doing this as well, the actual like energy that you're putting into this, you seem to need to put slightly more in than you'd expect.
Ooh,
Either this thing's
okay.
like really damaged or something's siphoning off some of the power.
I wonder what's siphoning off the power. I let my friends know this as it happens.
And the party members or just your friends?
Just my friends.
Okay.
And the party. Everybody.
Yeah, and the thing like it bucks a little bit on the floor, and then like its eyes dart open, and obviously like clearly bucks against the restraints.
And then I will hold them as well. Keep them.
It hisses like a cat would.
Okay. I hiss like a dragon would. Yeah.
I think Rask hisses as well from the doorway. Like a lizard would.
A lizard hiss.
Okay, hissing. Yep, the hissing contest has been completed.
I know, is there a bird hiss?
Crows don't hiss.
Yep.
Just good.
And then its eyes look around. It doesn't say anything. It's just looking around at everyone, like it clearly clocking you guys and windows or doorways or anything in the room, even like vases or whatever. Like it's clocking everything. And you can.
Before the conversation starts, going to roll against this.
Nori knocks her unconscious again. It's like before it wakes up. So remember, that just means that you're trained in that. You don't need to activate that or anything. That's just a if you roll to gauge someone, you've got training in it, which is good. So.
Yeah, I guess.
Who breaks the silence?
Might have to. No. I'm just thinking, do we do the good cop, bad cop? Do we do. We pretend that we know what it's doing?
I mean, we know quite a bit, and from what we know about the magic and it being siphoned off in their side of the island, and things like that. Is there anything that we can just build off of that, so it's not like a full lie, but we could be like, you know what you're doing with your talks or with other things. I don't know.
I'm just trying to think, what is it that we're trying to learn from it?
Kind of why they're on the island.
Yeah. Why are they on the island?
Why are they there? What's their beef with the Saurians, I guess? Because we want to help stop that, don't we?
So we know the general beef. Is there
You know, kind
specific?
of like historical beef. We understand.
Yeah.
But
And for
obviously-
a reminder for everyone from the lore, the Rakishans were once enslaved by the Saurians at the height of the Saurian power.
Like they have a valid beef.
Yes, they do have it. Yeah, because we wanted to investigate the Dino Island, the Rakishan on Dino Island for Madame TTT. She wants to know why they're here and what they're doing on the island.
You think she knew as much as they seem to have made a reasonable encampment at the other side of the island.
Yeah, but every time they send spies, no, they don't come back. And every time the Rakishan send spies, they don't come back. So no one really knows what.
Yeah, they're just sending spies. Just feeding.
So I guess what we want to know is, are they just here because of the beef, or do they have an ulterior motive?
Yeah, just what is their reason for being on the island? We just need to know.
And are they invading Cascade?
Well, yeah, but this guy's
Further down
unlikely.
the line, yes.
Yeah, just what I was thinking is, if we try to imply that we know it's here to find them, and as I'm actually listening to its thoughts, if it's like, aha, that all they know is that we're here for the Saurians. They don't know about the unobtainium underneath Benjamin.
Underneath what, sorry?
I can't actually remember what.
Namaj Neb. Good old Namaj Neb, not Benjamin.
You've got an Antiage.
You've got an Antiage.
Yeah, so something like that. That's essentially what I was thinking. Is there a better idea? I hope so, but
Nope. But
Seems like a
a good place to start. Just please remind him that he knows he's dead.
Yeah. I'm sure like a first question or two will lead to something. Right, Victor?
Yeah, of course. Just needs to break the ice, as it were.
yeah, okay. Then I think Lockhart using just slowly and loudly.
What's that move you're using? British abroad.
Yes.
Good points in cultural sensitivity. Yeah.
Would you like some milk? No, essentially was going to say. Just trying to think. Is there a something to kind of surprise it?
Well, you've got that phrase book, right? The tourist phrase book of Rakishan things. Like you can say very basic, generic touristy information to this cat.
I think I want to start in
Cascading or whatever. Yeah.
yeah. Start with that. See if it understands anything. Go from there. So Lockhart will probably just say, I hope the restraints aren't too tight. We simply want to avoid anything combustible.
Okay. Do you also now want to use your action for mind reading?
I kind of want to save that, or just wait like a minute. I want to start the dialogue first, see if
just to see if it responds normally. Yeah. Yeah, and like obviously you say, hope the restraints aren't too tight. Want to avoid anything combustible, and the cat obviously focuses on you because you're speaking. Kind of like narrows its eyes. It's got the kind of slit eyes as well, and it says, very like gruff voice as well that comes out of it, and it says, "Why is your kind here? Are you allying yourself with the Saurians?"
Lockhart is going to reply,
This is our interrogation.
No, back and forth. That's good. So,
but it does
Lockhart,
cascading.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, it's gonna be, so we need to be careful what we say around it. Essentially, we did not know of the Saurian presence here. What are you doing in this island?
Kind of again, like it's doing that thing where it's like looking at everyone as if it's sizing everybody up. It's like doesn't look back at you. It's still like observing the room quite intently as it replies. And it says, "My mission will go to the grave with me, but you have a chance to tell a dead Rakishan what you're doing here. I hardly think I'll make it out of this alive." And its eyes refocus on you.
I think gesturing at the crispy one.
Mm.
Lockheart will say, I can. We are well aware of your devotion to this, to the task that you have, so it must be no idle scouting that you are here.
Kind of like
There's
like a guffaw, like, or like goes pa, look at that, as if scoffing. The way you phrase that.
Or perhaps the Rakishan understanding of Dinosaur Island is so limited they had to send someone, someone to pad out the ground.
There's like a smirk. You can tell like there's a bit of pain behind the smirk, as if they're smirking, but they're also like not exactly tip-top health, right? They were severely beaten up on a rooftop, and they go to like adjust, and like you can see them like wince a bit in pain, but they're like trying to sit up, basically. Do you help them sit up? Do you? Because I know that Ignysera, I think's pinning them down currently.
Yeah, I'm like holding onto them, so I'll help them.
Yeah.
I think Lockheart would say
up,
like, oh,
but still like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and obviously it moves with what its bonds can like let it move. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
What was that, Nori?
I was just going to say I'm going to position myself on a windowsill, just with my daggers out, kind of sharpening, just in case it's.
Yeah, and I think like as you're like doing that, like we hear like the kind of the shick of the dagger on dagger or whatever, or like the whetstone, depending on how you're sharpening them. Like as the Rakishan sits up, it can like his eyes dart to you at the window, like it grins, less pain-filled this time. And it goes, "Ah, you look better."
That's to you.
It looks down
Shocking.
at itself, and it goes, "Short-lived, unfortunately."
Possibly.
His eyes
I think
up now.
as these two are now exchanging,
Mhm.
Lockhart will try and start to.
Yeah.
Now, I'm concerned that it's going to have some sort of connection through its torque, and that will be aware of what Lockhart's doing. But
I wouldn't worry about such details.
Do not look at the man behind the curtain.
Yeah, leave him be.
I'll just keep the conversation going. You danced well up on the rooftop.
Were we dancing?
Seemed that way.
Maybe that is why you almost lost. If it was not for your stronger friends.
Only time would have told.
Had you been left alone, you would be dead. It is fortunate your friends came to your aid. It glances obviously at Ignysera.
It's good to have friends. Yours left you alone.
Huh. Again, another like kind of scoffing style laugh. So I'm like, and you can tell from the body language and the way it's like doing that, it's like laughing at the assumptions you're making, if that makes sense. Not to say that they're not true, but that's just how it's responding, almost as a social defense to not then say, yes, that's true, my friends all abandoned me, or I don't have any friends because I'm a super edgelord. So much is that costing you, Mr. Full of Brain?
So it's 5 effort, which is 11. No, is that right?
What's that?
Yeah.
So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I think so.
And then the understanding costs 1, and the mind reading costs 2. That's another 3, and then I have 6 edge.
Yep, cool.
So it should be 8.
Nice.
Now,
Crazy.
is there any persuasion, deception attached to this.
No, because you're trying to read its mind, right? You're not trying to influence its mind currently. What was the asset from, sorry?
The understanding.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, the...
Understanding emotions.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I wasn't fighting you on it. It's fine. You can have it.
So that would be trade then.
Okay, just spend an extra point for understanding for me, though, for the sake of having redone it. Because it's conscious, remember, versus unconscious. And that was a big deal. So it would be 9 points this would have cost you.
Well,
Such
that already included...
But it would take you 2 actions, so I'm not making you roll twice. So just spend an extra point.
But if it was just the 1 point on the unconscious, then my edge probably covered that.
Yeah, but that doesn't do anything for while it's conscious, like we discussed earlier.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm saying, for doing it now, I've already factored the cost in.
Have you? For understanding?
So the +3, one of it was the understand.
Okay, no, that's fine then. Sorry, I missed that part.
Yeah. No, I wasn't trying to get around that.
That's okay. I just never heard you say that, that's all. So, yeah, what's your total, more importantly?
So, how much does trained work again? It's been too long. That's 3, isn't it?
Everything's 3.
Yeah. Okay. So then it is 7 times 3 is 21. 21 plus 4 is 25.
Yeah. So, what you're, again, from a surface point of view, right? This thing knows it can get out of its restraints and knows who it wants to go for in what order. And then it knows where it dies with how far it gets through that list. According to its assessment. How accurate its assessment is debatable. And Lockhart you didn't even factor in.
Yes. Okay. We're okay then.
Wow.
Yeah.
I take it at just before it's in its assessment it's killed, it also self-destructs.
I mean, it attempts to, but in the scenarios in its head, it doesn't, because it's capable of taking out more people if it doesn't waste time trying to take itself out that way.
How far in that time frame does it seem to think this is going to be until it can undo its restraints?
Oh, that information doesn't come through, unfortunately. It's just the fact that it knows the restraints aren't an issue. Right, so the restraints haven't even been factored in as a problem for this Rakishan agent. But in terms of the order, it immediately poisons Ignysera, it then jumps to kill Nori, and then goes back to finish Ignysera, and that's the order in which it does that. And then it doesn't know how far it'll get through if it manages to kill Ignysera before it dies, by someone else's hand, like Myr'ra's, or if Ignysera kills it, based on the prowess it witnessed. But its main focus is weakening Ignysera, letting the poison set in enough by killing Nori, jumping back, and trying to finish off Ignysera. It doesn't seem to think the rest would be considered a threat for other Rakishan agents. Ignysera seems to be high on that list. Obviously, Falkwin may have been on that list too somewhere, but sadly Falkwin's in the narratively excused area. But that's the order. Myr'ra, there just wasn't time for you to be in the order, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm sure you're thrilled by that.
I don't really mind.
And Lockhart, as far as it's concerned, you were in the way of it getting to Nori first. So its route involves doing what it can.
Please let it.
Where it's getting the weapons from, you don't know.
But it doesn't seem to think that's a problem.
No, not at all. It seems quite confident in the outcome it was achieving, but it did factor in it will probably die. But it knows the explosion didn't seem to phase Ignysera from the other rooftop.
Ryan, you keep dropping in and out.
Oh. I said
Didn't hear the end of that conversation.
Yeah, the explosion didn't seem to phase Ignysera from the other rooftop, so it's clearly not trying to use that ability again. While it might damage the rest of you quite significantly, it doesn't seem to. Yeah, its threat was Ignysera.
Mm.
And it just seems more
So-
personal with Nori as well.
What is?
Okay, so I think we should lie to it.
How would you convey that to the others?
In the so it's when I say we should lie to it, I think Lockhart should lie to it, and I'm asking the players and how best.
We did have time before this. We
Good,
could
now
have set up the telepathic link.
Would you like to have done that?
I think we should have done that. That would make sense that we should
Yeah,
before
yeah.
going into yeah.
We just, like Myr'ra can be switchboard again.
That can have happened,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay,
So-
thank you.
The mind reading lasts for a minute.
Mhm.
So what I'm thinking is, again, we lie to it and see.
So
if
we're looping
that-
everyone's minds together, and then looping Lockhart's mind into this one's mind that may be siphoning it off to somewhere else.
Uh-oh. Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
I like it. No, I'm here for it. It's fine. I'm okay with all of
Okay.
this happening. Yeah.
It's fine. We just need we would
Yeah.
totally be aware of that happening, and then we also thinking in code as well as.
But don't think casually.
yeah, just think non-invasive thoughts.
Don't think about the Stay Puft Marshmallow
So-
Man.
Yeah.
Don't think about any
So,
secrets
first of
that we
all-
know.
Nori,
Would Lockhart say to Myr'ra to go and bring in Rask?
oh, Rask's in the doorway. Rask's in the room.
So even he's not being in consideration.
No, not at all. But this guy didn't experience Rask.
No, true.
And he was unconscious before Big Lightning Strike as well.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, this is going to be fun.
Mm. Yeah, because you watch
Lockhart,
Rask push
why
one
do
up
you
against a
argue
wall and just snap its neck. So we know Rask can handle himself.
So I'm thinking, what if we tell it like we're on the same side? That we've been sent, I don't know, to come and
Could we be the audit committee for a seat for the Solar Emperor getting a seat at the table? We're the health board. We're here to do an audit.
That's a very good point. And then you attacked us.
Yeah, that's going to be minus points
But why are you here on Dinosaur Island?
because we're starting here.
Right,
This is
okay.
a small area to cover in our audit of the entirety of the Rakishan Empire.
So if you can do all that within a minute, go for it.
Here's my question as a group, right? What's the outcome you want from this scene? What is the ideal outcome? Like, you're trying to interrogate it, right? You're trying to get information from what information? What they're doing on the
We
island.
wanna know
Right.
What they're
they're
doing on their side of the
Yeah.
island, yeah.
So maybe let's have everything focused in that direction.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying if I
Why
lie
don't we
to
just
it,
ask? See
Because well,
what
they're
brain
like
thoughts.
asking, trying to distract you and ask you questions about your thing, so you're not interrogating it. Like it's trying to flip it back onto you, and we're getting distracted by it.
yeah,
Ignore what
but
it's
we
saying.
did find, it was saying basically that, it doesn't want to answer, and it's also willing to die in that process. So we did gain stuff from the.
Well, the way it spoke, it says it's already considered it's dead, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's done the math. You don't keep prisoners as far as it's concerned.
Then what if we convince it that we will let it go?
Or that we will keep them as a prisoner forever. Like they will remain alive is the main. Like they think it doesn't
New
matter. 'cause they're
friendly
gonna die.
NPC to work on. Add them to the
We
menagerie.
also,
I think Nori's always been looking for a companion.
A dance partner.
in its head, when we asked the initial question, so it might be worth just bringing back up why they're on the island, in case his surface thoughts do the, yes, mustn't tell them about it.
The thing that we are, XYZ.
Okay, what if we told them
Or
that?
you could try that, we know what you're doing.
Yeah,
Super
I
difficult.
did think that. I was thinking, what if we tell them that the Emperor's dead?
The talk might mean that he
I bet
knows.
there's like must be some kind of like fail safe around these talks with the Emperor.
But that would
I feel
probably
like.
go through its mind, and we would then know.
If the
True.
Emperor is dead or not. Like,
If there is a failsafe, if they have a direct connection to the Emperor.
okay, yeah, I mean, that's an angle. And it's you talking to the cat, so I speak more.
Now, what would Sir Thane do in this situation?
Yeah, what would Sir Ethane do in this situation? Is he perhaps a cat?
We just know he's not of dank.
I mean, you did say that this thing was tougher than fighting a Farron.
Exactly. What if it's everything?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ask him that. Are you sorry?
Oh, you sorry.
Do you know Sir Thane?
From Gumdrop Lane? Mm-hmm. So
Okay, we need ask what we ask.
you just need to then actually talk to me. Yeah, please talk to this cat.
I think we partially do what Hannah Myr'ra just suggested. You were sent here as ambassadors. You have that role anyway, Lockhart. You were teleported from Cascade City, from the Canatrix, and we landed here. You were investigating, and then you attacked. What do you think our response should be?
All of that's true, though.
Well, no.
Well, is it?
Exactly.
It's pretty much the gist of it, that we are here.
Teleported from
Yeah, the
that
intent
continent
behind it.
to
No,
the island is
yeah.
true, but not from the city.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you say we?
Why do you want it to be a lie, Lockhart? Do you have a thing?
To the lying and telling the truth.
Are we shocked by this? Yeah, Falkwin's the truth sayer.
Truth shouter, lie whisperer.
Yeah. Yep, that was the subclasses of speaker. Yeah.
So actually, we can tell it something truth. It's just telling it something truthful just gives it information. Whereas we tell it something a lie, it's more likely to either know it's a lie and get confused and potentially have more surface thoughts on that subject, or be convinced and be then more likely to divulge information.
Well, then, if we go for that, then do we? Yeah, go straight out. Well, yeah, straight out lie, saying we are investigating why you are here on the island. Well, even though that's what we're doing, we're investigating why you are here on the island. We have found out that you are siphoning XYZ for this, and then they go, "What the fuck?" And then we're doing this and not that. I don't know.
Or something a bit, just the exact same, but rumors around Cascade is that there is an invasion force on the island, and we're spies sent to find it.
Yeah, that's quite a fun line.
Mm-hmm.
Because we do think they might have been here. They got
like
to
we
us
found out that the Rakshan are invading
That's a staging ground.
Cascade. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is your jumping off point.
Because that also
Swarm,
means
if you wish.
we don't know it is, so it is alive. We say
As I say, to use it's a lie. Currently, yes.
Our knowledge
It's
is a lie.
deception.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, even if we think it might, we don't know.
This is so funny. This is very reminiscent of you find yourselves in front of a door. It seems locked. What do you do?
Yeah. Can I talk to the door?
We all kill our characters off and make new characters elsewhere. That's what we do.
Yeah, behind the door. With the characters behind the door.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's a good one.
I think your mind readings wore off after that minute. So you all telepathically have a conference.
Just have this conversation, just staring at each other.
Really intensely.
Cat's like, okay, I'll tell you everything.
Just stop staring at each other.
So Lockhart is going to use that. and we'll say, we are quite aware of the staging post being constructed on the island. We just wanted to we were more wondering about why you had this particular interest in the village here. And I assume you want me to roll.
Probably. Hi, Ask, can I get those sweet, sweet ones? Manifest.
So rude.
They tend to work out quite well. Also,
I don't want to jinx it, but intrusions are fun.
They are. The term hostile here is interesting because I don't see how it's not hostile, but it's not trying to kill you.
You did say that did go through my mind.
However,
but you said,
while you're trying to get me in some kind of weird logic trap, it would kill you if it had time, which does make it hostile.
it doesn't have time. So
Correct.
Not.
It not having time to be hostile specifically to you doesn't make it not hostile to you. It just makes it better at planning than you guys.
That's not a hard bar to clear.
You do okay.
Red by our
Yeah.
DM.
I've just got that death becomes her meme.
Which one, sorry?
Was rude. That was pretty fucking rude.
Also, what an amazing movie.
I hate that movie.
Really?
Oh,
Wow.
the music
Oh,
is
it's
a great
fantastic. What's wrong with you?
I don't have time to
No.
unpack that, Chris. I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah, I know. That's a whole different pre-show
yeah.
conversation.
So, right, we'll schedule that in for next session. Dear gods. Anyway, go watch Death Becomes Her, everyone. It's a fantastic movie.
It's so good.
Right, what did we get? Lockhart, what's your total?
It's the exact same again. So it's 25.
250 again.
Yeah, just, yeah. Yes was the answer. Okay. Remind me what you were trying to deceive it as. We know it's a staging ground. Why are you investigating the village?
Yeah, to try and confuse it a bit and potentially then make it think, oh no, we're actually here for...
Okay. So is the grand deception part of this the... We know the staging ground part?
Yeah.
Because that's you trying to convince it that there's a staging ground.
We're convincing it that we know there's a staging ground.
Okay. I don't really think that's a grand deception, is it? Like...
As far as we're concerned, it is wildly untrue.
Okay.
But it doesn't know that.
I would say wildly untrue feels optimistic, right? I would say it could be untrue. Because the wildly and obviously untrue, you just don't know. Right?
But that's what we're trying to drag out.
Yeah. It's just an interesting route to be like, this thing we're going to kind of make you think is real.
Yeah, we're trying to make you
It's when
think
it
that
is, like, yous all take it back to the... Like, all of yous go back to the big encampment thing, and it's like, oh, there's no staging ground. I'm so sorry for bringing yous all this way. Like an escort quest, just convince it to take yous on. But yeah, either way, the thing looks at you, the Rakashan, looks back at you, Lockhart, and says, you don't seem as concerned for your safety as the others do. Are you their leader?
What did it think?
Yeah, that's valid. What it thought was, how do they know about the project?
Does it think the project in
You can
capital
think
letters?
more
Dun
about
dun
the
dun!
project.
Oh no, the project in the super secret DLC.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think the terminology it might actually use would be the extraction.
Extraction.
Yeah.
This is where I got the.
Oh, that means you can use that phrase now. You could be like, we know about the extraction.
Dun
Yeah.
dun
And then you see
dun.
what thinks next.
The music cue changes every time. Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't want it to know that I'm reading its mind. So that's why we don't overplay the hand there. Because then it
But
will.
but if we make it seem that we already knew.
Yeah. We have to make sure it doesn't raise Lockhart up its priority of killing list.
Yeah.
Oh, do we? Is that what we
But yes, so you've got that, but it's like composure is immaculate. Yeah.
And it's asking if I'm the leader. Lockhart. We'll probably say. I don't think that I could find a way to lead such heroes, heroes such as these, into anything that they wouldn't want to do. I'm sure you found that with your with your followers.
It raises
Yes,
a very furry eyebrow. It goes, heroes? What is this word?
Does it seem to generally not think like it knows what that is?
Yeah, it doesn't understand the word.
I think I will sort of gesture particularly at Nori and Ignysera. Sorry, Myr'ra.
Research student, it's fine.
I'm keeping these two the ones that it's wanting to kill, basically.
Don't think murder crow.
Yeah.
That's our surprise.
So these two are great warriors of conviction. I don't think I could lead them somewhere that they wouldn't want to go.
So you exalt strength in your culture. So do we.
Is that why you are exalted?
You think me exalted? You flatter me.
I know. I know my.
You hear in his head, arrogant asshole.
Did he?
An arrogant asshole isn't a threat.
What was that, Hannah?
Did he think of anyone in particular for things like exalted? Like once hero was explained.
Yeah.
Did he have any?
Guess who?
Did he think of the Emperor?
Yeah, Sun. The radiant gem himself.
So sorry, Lockhart, just jumping on this. Did that feel like he'd met Sun personally? Like, does he have like an image of like, yes, that time I saw him in a parade?
Yeah,
or
100%. It was less parade and more like inauguration.
Okay, but not like we're best.
And not like
down the pub.
Presidential inauguration, like as in this guy's inauguration into like his order, right?
Ooh, okay, like a graduation.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a much better word than inauguration. Yeah, graduation. Just like we've used it a lot in this RP for some reason. So, thoughts on that?
The response would be like, I know, I have seen what Nori can has. Probably shouldn't have said his name, but I will.
Yeah.
I've seen what Nori's capable of and the foes that he's defeated. If it took him so long, if the two of you seemed almost balanced, then it implies much.
It's Goths. There was no balance, there was gauging.
I'd agree with that.
It laughs.
I whispered in the background.
But yeah, it laughs at your comment. And then it offers up this. So it says, "Perhaps if you return me to my people, we all may yet live. But your time in this village must come to an end."
Did he think leading them into a trap?
I'm sincere.
I mean, no, he never thought that. He just thought they'll never go for this, and his mind mapping of if MD's moved around or like repostured is still him just planning different ways to murder the group.
Like, that's not far off what we want to happen. Not
well,
for him
he's-
murdering, but like as in, we could take him back.
I'm not against that.
Yeah.
Gives us an in into the village.
My only worry is he can definitely murder us before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
and also, by the time we get there, they could all just like kill us instantly.
Yeah.
Lockhart is going to think to Myr'ra, I guess,
Mhm.
that the restraints are not holding it.
Okay, I will ping that out to everybody.
You could
But-
probably ask it
yeah.
one short thing before your mind
Yeah.
reading runs out as well.
My grip on it just increases just a little
Yeah.
bit, like just subtly if I can.
It just smirks down at your like grip, without like moving its head or anything, as if just, like you're seeing it as a threat.
Rather you step back into your sword.
A gift, this blade. Use it well. I know how skilled you are. But yeah, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? Because again, your mind reading will wear off after this next one.
Yeah.
Unless you recast it, obviously.
I'm going to fire something across quickly then to it. I'm just
If you
gonna
did, it
say-
would take up the time the mind reading would have if it's conversational.
Okay,
So feel free to have an
double chat
agent, agency chat amongst
Agency moment
yourselves.
then.
Yeah.
Or I'll fire it back to Lockhart through my mirror, obviously. We agree that this is where we want to go. This is where that's our aim at the present time. So just ask it if it's honourable. Could we trust it to get us to the village safely? It's going to either lie or it's not going to lie.
Like, will you provide a safe passage into your village
Settlement should we use the word.
settlement?
Hmm.
Yeah. Extraction site.
Yeah, so it's like the
To
dig
the
site.
extraction zone.
Yeah, I think some kind of gauge of, is that a genuine offer? Like, it doesn't believe that we'll go for it, but it doesn't mean that we can't sort of shock it into...
Well, keep in mind it said, let me go, and yous can go. And we just part ways, and then you leave the island.
Oh, right. Okay. I didn't say-
Everyone seems to have misheard what I said.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we're...
Just optimistically be like, we can go on a fun adventure with
Take
friends!
them with us.
Like, we've made a friend.
Like, we let
You
them
s-
live.
could pose that, though.
Strapped to my back.
You could pose that to
Yeah.
him, right? Yeah, exactly.
What were you thinking, Lockhart? What was your last question going to be?
I was tempted to push on the extraction, but I also don't want to go. I don't want it to. Again, think of us as too much of a threat.
Us.
I think... I think that depends on whether or not we're letting it live or not. Like, it doesn't really matter if it thinks we're a threat,
Yeah,
if the plan is still. But if we are planning on letting it go, Flash, try to make friends with it.
So one thing that Lockhart was planning to do, essentially, from as soon as Lockhart knew that it was capable of moving, was sort of gauge if it was about to do something, then to do this to it, so that the others can get it actually tied down again. So that was something I was thinking, maybe if we're taking them before, while we know it's not actually going to try and move, we've got that chance to get it. But I also don't know if that just means we're going to need to either kill it or incapacitate it again. Because it could be that it's just a slippery cat thing, so no matter what it's held in, it can always escape.
And that's probably quite
Probably
annoying.
got some special ability maybe of some kind.
Is this fantasy game?
Ask it what you want to ask it.
That makes sense.
Ask it a question.
Maybe next time we use something they can't cut through.
So, mind reading's going to wear off in 5, 4,
Ask it a question.
3,
Go.
2.
Do you have honor?
Okay, I don't know how he feels about that yet.
You gave me a time limit. I had to give you something difficult.
You just locked me in a puzzle. Yeah, I think that's like itself like doesn't know how to process that either. It was not expecting that as a question. But again, the strong prevalent like reply in its mind is duty to the Emperor first. So its life is nothing but in service to the Emperor. So effectively, it's pretty much already wrote itself off as dead when it joined the service it's joined.
Oh. Do you have an unbrainwashing tool?
You learn that it's part of the Whiskers of the Empire.
Oh, that's a fun name.
Whiskers of the Empire. Cool.
Well, it does seem to be some kind of, like from what you can tell, clandestine group of elites. Hence why it might, in fact, have known of the extraction. So.
So are we going to kill it?
I don't want to act first.
Its reply, though, because I never actually spoke, is the thing that's
Yeah.
just the mind reading part, right? Its reply just goes, "And what would you know of honor?"
Rude.
I think.
Yeah, it's a bamboozling question, isn't it, Lockhart?
Well, I think it's coming at Lockheart about duty to the ruler. I think Lockheart can relate.
So what does Lockhart think about that he's not reading?
I think. What would you know of honor? Lockhart would probably sort of give a slight sort of somewhere between a grimace and a smirk of
A smurmus.
that I know it when I see it broken.
And I thought that your kind feared mirrors.
And also, knowing what we know now about our kind and mirrors,
Totally.
that probably will, He'll probably, in his mind, he's like, oh, what is the facial response that is appropriate for what he knows? And then go, no, cannot do anything like that. Go back to being an idiot. And we'll almost look slightly offended, I guess, is the more useful expression. And then say, and I thought your kind would know a thing or two about servitude. And look at the torque rather pointedly.
It's like eyes obviously look down, but it can't see the torque with the way it's positioned, and it looks back up at you, and it just starts to slowly chuckle, and it says, "Servitude. I give my life for the Emperor. Would you give yours?" And then there's enough of a pause, no pun intended, and then it says, "Then there's a place for you in the Empire too." Basically, he's giving you a recruitment speech.
Yeah.
If you're saying that you can give, posing the question, would you serve? If so, you're welcome.
We will to slavery.
Yeah, right.
I think that would be the, not quite game recognizes game. But it's sort of it's like, and would you serve? No, because it's basically saying that it has chosen to serve completely.
Yeah. It gave its life, right? Its life is the Emperor's life to use. Yeah. Very, very devout, right? And it seems like it has chosen to do that. It seems like it made those choices. How much you could believe that, because if it's been convinced or conditioned to believe it's its own choice. Yeah, exactly. But what it feels is it made those choices. And it thinks you could too.
How about attack the Sun Emperor directly? And your response would be, yes, I probably would serve an honourable ruler if there was one.
I mean, I think that's something Nori's going to have to say.
Lockhart's conditioned with protocols diplomatically that he can't go against. Don't insult another ruler unless you're behind a lot of plot armor.
I think Nori would.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah,
It
sounds like that. That's more why I think Lockhart wouldn't say it. It's because that is something that Nori absolutely.
Yeah. I think, I will then say that out loud. Basically, I'll say, I think you'll find that everyone in this room would serve and give their lives for an honourable leader.
It's just a shame you don't get to choose them on your continent. You're told who they are. Our Emperor was chosen by Alata himself.
Not the people. Okay. I don't say that out loud.
Yeah. But you can see where he's going with that, right?
Yeah. Because I thought it was about to be a sudden, actually, we vote him in.
Yeah.
It's a democratic election.
And yet, in this room, you have 4 different races from 4 different kingdoms.
Yeah. 3.5, but okay.
Yeah, 3.5. And none of us serve reluctantly. We don't have to be forced with our collar around our neck.
Uh-huh. You think this is forced? I chose to wear the
Oh,
torch.
I think. Of course you did. Yes, we understand that. Brainwashing does that to a race.
Ah, you think my mind addled?
I think your whole race is addled.
Have you met my whole
I'm
race?
trying to pick a fight here, by the way.
Yeah, it's. You can tell like there's a sense of pride in this guy, right? Like, yeah, and that's what he's like. Do you think my whole race addled? Have you met them? Each one of us. Do you know anything about my people, my culture, my lands, or do you simply sit there in your ignorance?
I'd ask you the same questions about us. You seem to have made a lot of assumptions on us. In the market, you attacked me, remember? Making assumptions.
You assumed I had not noticed you observing me as you stealth your way up a wall to a roof for a better vantage point.
And again, I repeat, we were in the market. You attacked us. For? Why?
It turns back to you, Lockhart goes, I understand why you do the speaking. And he looks back to you and he goes, you think that you have words that would impact me, but even your blows struggled to do that. And he grins. Like, Ignysera, you can feel him like adjusting the way he's like holding his body. He's not like he's basically bracing in case Nori does something. You can tell that.
He's moving and stuff.
Yeah, he's not like moving to respond. He's just like, yeah. How does Nori feel?
Yeah. I will. Still trying to bait him. I am not afraid of your idle threats. Just turn and then look out the window.
And yeah, he kind of just like, not chuckles, but like kind of, again, more like a kind of scoffing laugh. Again, goes, ha. Turn away.
It's a better view out here.
Oh, I have no doubt about that. Shall we all reconvene to the exterior? Chuckles again.
I look at Madam TTOT.
She's not in the
She
room.
go back through the.
Yeah, she's through the
Okay.
bearded wall. She hasn't came through at all.
I'll call for her. I'll just go. Madam, TTOT.
His eyes narrow immediately and snaps out of the bonds, and he lunges.
We attack.
Would you like to roll initiative?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let me.
Damn, that's speed, isn't it?
Yes, yes, it is. Well, there's an initiative button for it. Yes, as well. Okay, I'm not going to put this on the initiative turn tracker. It probably won't last that long. I just need to know if you beat it or not.
Oh.
Oh, it's gonna be.
I did so well there.
Gonna be
I think
fast.
the simple
isn't
word
it?
initiative.
There should be on the character sheet.
Yeah. I just was zoomed out in a weird way. I'm not gonna. Great.
Not bad.
Why is there a cost to roll an initiative?
There's not. It's just that's programmed into ask you every time. Also, some people might have abilities that you can activate to influence your initiative, which would have a cost. So that's why it's there.
Oh, can you not?
It's a task roll. You
Put
can do
effort in.
all the stuff you would normally do. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I mean is,
We're gonna
it was asking about
speed.
cost, and obviously, if you have an ability that says you can roll twice on initiative if you spend 5 points.
Mm-hmm.
That would cost 5. And because it's a speed roll, we had armor, we would have to add the cost if we used effort.
Yep.
Okay. So I didn't use it yet.
That's okay. So, do you still have any armor penalty costs, Ignysera?
No.
No, that's fine. Yeah, I remember we coded out a lot.
Nice.
And Lockhart, we know you don't wear armor. Just God's instrument on this earth. But yes, so what were our numbers? So I know that Myr'ra got a 19 with a special effect, a minor effect. Lockhart, what was your total?
12?
22, you mean?
22?
Yeah,
12
you get plus 12.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Mine's 12 total.
Cool. And I think Nori's was 12 as well. Yep, cool.
Yeah.
So, 2 people get to go before him. Lockhart is first, then Myr'ra, and then the Rakishan, and then the rest of you can decide what order you want to go in. Can I also ask as well, do you have any ideas for the minor effect you would like?
I don't. What would be options? Could I trip him over?
Maybe
Could I
not.
put myself in between him and like the beaded curtain?
Yeah, definitely. You could definitely like
Yeah, like
be
use
a
some
bigger
movement to
obstacle.
be-
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I'll do that.
Yep.
I'll be
Cool.
in between.
But also, like, you will get like your action as well, right?
Okay.
Cool. So Lockhart.
Yeah.
What are you in first?
Yeah, I think Enthrall.
Okay. Yeah. Do you want to give that a go?
As much as I'd like to do some of the other ones, I think that's the most effective because it's just so it can't do anything other than to defend itself. I assume someone trying to restrain it still.
Yeah. This is remember, anything that's a roll against anybody is an attack, and thus defense counts as a way to defend against such a thing. Even if you're trying to color someone blue with magic, if they resist it, it's an attack.
But it potentially means that
I just mean you're
Myr'ra
rolling
can go-
against it, right? And obviously, we know that Myr'ra is going to be interceding its route.
Yeah.
And whatever she does on her turn. Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll see if it even works.
Yeah.
Don't suppose my textbook can whack it.
You're very pretty little book. I might stop an arrow one day for you, though. We never know.
That's 25.
Dear gods. Yeah. So. Have a point of XP.
No, he's doing an intrusion.
Have a second point of XP to gift to someone. Okay.
This was very difficult last week when I had to do it.
So let's resolve that now. Who are you giving it to?
Or
are you paying the XP?
Does that cancel itself out?
Well, no. You'd need to pay me XP to not receive the intrusion full stop, which means you don't get the 2 XP.
I wouldn't do it, and I have no XP. So
An XP debt, you say?
well, it's like if you're going to give me one, let me give you one back.
No. Unfortunately not. No, sadly it doesn't work that way.
I will give my one to Myr'ra, because I feel like it's the two of us right now.
Okay. Sure.
In before.
Okay.
Sure.
So, the intrusion is one of the Whiskers of the Empire mandates that they have.
Oh.
And you mentioned the trigger term being Madame
Madam
TTO.
TTO.
Yep, Madame TTOT. And the way it behaved, it was that quick that even Ignysera's grip was loosed. This thing has designed, like, it's almost as if you were like holding onto like a bulk of its fur, and it's just like twisted its arm, and is insanely skinny, and it's like pulled its arm free. It's even got to the point where Enthrall isn't even going to get it because it's already slashed at Lockhart's throat, and I'll need you to make a speed defense roll for me, Lockhart.
So it essentially done that before. Okay.
Well, it's to stop you enthralling it. Yeah.
That's not going to go well.
No.
Since I used all my speed to get
If you were still reading its mind, you might see that you've maybe moved up its priority list somewhat in that split second. But yeah, it does seem like, again, if I had a button to push to put in the thing that would have been on its character sheet would be, act as accordance to, yeah. So it's not so much like, I know I said trigger phrasing, but what I mean by that really is it's got a job above all other jobs. And it seems to be something to do with Madam TTOT.
So I think that's just a speed roll for.
Okay.
Could I use this, or is it too late?
On your turn, you can use that, but your turn is after the cat. And the cat even hasn't had its turn yet, because the cat's in an intrusion. But yes,
how about that book now?
So what was your roll, sorry, for your speed? Was it your speed defense? Okay.
Sorry, didn't mean to do that.
That's okay.
Wrong button.
Lockhart, take 5 damage. If you have armor, reduce it accordingly.
I have no speed left to give.
Okay. Can you give me a might roll? This is a might defense roll as well. So is your speed 0?
Yes.
Okay, you can't move anymore if your speed 0, just so you know.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
actually
cool.
thought that meant I was unconscious. But
No. I think it's if there's 2 zeroed out, I think you're unconscious. Or maybe it's not, it's if your intellect zeroed out, you're unconscious. I think that's the one.
Okay. So does that also just make me impaired for the might defense?
Yeah, I've like what the effects of impaired are. I think effort costs more. Is that what it was? I can't remember the exact. It should be on your sheet somewhere. I'll skip to the character sheet in this and read it from that again. It's somewhere here.
Yeah, because I think 13's more than 4 should cost. I think that might be fair.
Oh yes, yeah. No, I did 4 because it should cost 11. It should cost 9.
Yeah.
So it's +1 effort point, like +1 point per effort level.
Okay.
For
Right.
impaired.
Then no, I wouldn't have 4.
And it says ignore minor and major effects on rolls in combat. It's 17 to 20, just as a +1.
Then obviously the roll is 8, but I'd redo the maths of what I could actually afford. So it would be 4 for the first one, and then 3 for the second one.
Just tell me the numbers I need to care about. Don't tell me the math.
I can't do maths quietly. That would be 10. So it'd be 3 effort I could still afford. So that would be 9, 18. That would be 17 would be the actual roll.
Okay. Cool. Yep. For your might or for the speed? For the might.
For the might.
Yeah, cool. So it's 17, yeah. Okay. You are now poisoned. Take a point of poison damage. It doesn't care about armor. I don't think you wear armor. It doesn't matter. And every turn, you will take poison damage.
I take it that goes for might.
I want to say it went for speed last time. I can't remember what I said it went for last time, but let's just assume it's might for now.
Okay, then I have 0 might and 0 speed.
Currently?
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, so you're now debilitated. So obviously, it says here you can only move an immediate distance and cannot move at speed of 0, but that's fine. We knew you couldn't move anyway because speed was 0, and that's the auto thing. So you can't move, and your effort levels cost more. And you don't have your action recovery to get out of that.
No.
Cool. That makes sense. Your throat's just been cut by very sharp claws, as this thing's like sailed past you into Myr'ra.
Oh,
It's your go, Myr'ra.
okay. Panic. I think I'm just going to try and stop it. I'm going to use Onslaught because I just think Myrrah's like, I don't want you getting through. She's trying to like body block.
Physical onslaught or mental onslaught?
I think mental.
Okay.
Because, oh god, sometimes they have more.
I mean, it's quite well trained in its brain as well.
So the difference is that onslaught
Protection.
physically does 4 damage, I want to say, but it has to do with armor, and
So with armor.
mental is 2 damage by default, but skips armor.
Yes. And I feel like we encountered some kind of armor when we were fighting them last time.
Yeah, there was some damage reduction from what you recall. Yep.
It's to be fair, like it's probably got armor against lots of things. Probably,
Yeah.
Probably got mental armor of some kind.
We last time kind of figured out that the difficulty was 6. Is it still 6?
I mean, you can assume that if you want.
Okay.
Never gonna tell you.
Fine.
You can put 6 in if the difficulty, yes.
I don't like that phrase.
No, I don't like that phrase.
That if you
It's
want.
like stock GM phrasing, isn't it?
I don't remember. I will add the cost of using the...
Okay. Well, hey.
Okay. I do 5 damage. Because I used an effort to damage.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, I just reach out with my mind.
Yep.
Just like, stop.
It's 6 damage you do.
Oh.
Because of the 17.
Oh.
There's a +1,
That's
remember?
exciting.
Yeah. That's why I like the dice system in this game, because 17 upwards is all good. Yeah. It's nice.
That's exciting. It's the first damage I've ever done for anything.
Yep. So, yeah, as you like reach out with this thing, like immediately its mind goes quiet as the thing collapses, like midair as it body blocks into you and just collapses dead.
Sorry. I panicked.
Lockhart's bleeding out.
That was the right thing to do. I do repair flesh on Lockhart.
Can you roll?
Uh-oh. What shall I roll?
Oh god, he's poisoned.
Anything to do with
intellect?
Medicine. Yeah. For your medicine.
I have a healer's kit at the house.
Can I talk her through this?
You can't really. You're struggling to talk a bit at the moment. Yeah.
But I need that.
Nice.
21.
Yeah, nice. So yeah, you managed to like patch up the throat so it's no longer like an immediate problem, like half cauterized, half like mending with the fire thread. But yeah, definitely more of a rush job on this moment. And I'm assuming that would have taxed you in some way if that has a cost, right? So it would be an effort, which would be 3. So did it cost you 3 points?
Yeah. So repair flesh costs 3 points, but I also put a level of effort into the intellect roll. Yeah. So I assume I will use it as a cost of roll. Yeah.
Yep. Cool. But yeah, like you're no longer in like absolute peril, and you can move from. Let's put the point into speed, so you can walk. It doesn't technically give you points back, but I feel like for it to actually mechanically affect the player sheet, we need to put points somewhere. So we'll put a point there for you. I don't care about a point of health somewhere, considering it's relatively easy to get back in this game. So a calm descends on the room.
Oh.
Sorry, I didn't think that calling.
She pops her head through the beads. Yes?
Well, I was just gonna ask if you wanted us to kill
Sorry.
and
Oh, is it dead?
it's yes, they're dead.
Probably,
Um,
probably for the best.
Oh, you meant
It got kind of angry when we mentioned your name.
Mm-hmm.
She gives like a funny look when you say that, and just maybe best we take the two bodies outside.
Yes. Myr'ra will just like hoik.
Mm-hmm.
It's relatively strong. We'll just like
I'll pick up.
get
the
him
other
out.
one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Like Rask helps move them
Yeah.
outside as well, yeah, etc. And then like there's another crack of thunder, and this thing's torched as well with the lightning that comes from the sky.
Oh.
Like she wasn't even leaving its remain. Like like the crackle of lightning, like skittering over her scales as she looks back at the group. And goes, ah, mint tea, anyone?
yes, please.
Yeah.
Guys, no.
Lockhart's looking for something soft to collapse on.
Oh, we've that would be like something we can tell her now.
Yeah, and like these are all furnished with
Disgusting.
some horrible mint tea.
We'll definitely just drink it.
Drink their tea. Drink tea.
I guess Lockheart needs to kind of divulge some of the things
Yeah.
that he heard.
I assume she was probably kind of listening from the other room, but maybe she's not that bothered at all. She's like, they'll tell me what they need to tell me.
It's hard to tell if she was listening or not, but it's not like the biggest building, right? There's like, what, 4 rooms or something to it, really, on this floor. There's an upstairs that you just haven't been up to yet, but there is basically like the room that like Lockhart and Myr'ra used, the room these are in, the room that Falkwin used to mess it, and then the kitchen-y type area. And then obviously in the main room there's like stairs that go up, and that's it. So it's probably...
She probably would have overheard even
Yeah.
if she wasn't actively trying to listen yet.
Yeah.
Seems you have a target on your back.
Oh, when you get to my age, you make lots of friends.
Have you ever made friends with Whiskers of the Empire?
She kind of like narrows her eyes and like as if shame on you type face. And goes, shh. Is that who he was? Huh. She looks
One
quite
of them.
pleased. Goes, huh, I must be that big of a nuisance. She doesn't seem phased.
Yeah,
You're
she can
not. Why they're here, though?
Oh.
They're removing something. They're taking something. Extracting something from here. Don't know what, but that appears to be one of their primary purposes in the area.
Not much to extract from here. The place isn't exactly rich in minerals or anything. That's why this has been left pretty much a lot. It's also why she puts her hands up. Rumor has it my people left here way back when. Like, this is relaxing. She uses a tone that you can tell means, besides tonight, as relaxing as this island can be, it is a poor choice for settlement. We are here because of that reason.
What if it is something to do with your people that they are taking?
She actually looks worried at that sentiment, and she goes, "Oh, I see your point. They may be taking my people." And she just like, you can tell like the process she's going through that. And we've been sending them scouts. Perhaps they have played my hand for me. Shakes her head.
Roughly, how many scouts have you sent?
Not many. Once the first two groups did not report back, we figured we should come up with a better plan.
Was that around a dozen or so people?
She goes, no, like
Okay.
8.
Okay. Still within, but sure.
Yeah, it's not like 45 people went missing or anything. It's just like, yeah.
Yeah,
8.
okay.
Yeah.
But there's not the exact 12 that we think are the souls
Yeah, it's
in
not the
den.
12, maybe
Okay.
13. Yeah.
Grand.
Yep.
Slide check.
It's worth checking, yeah.
Because that process could maybe be termed an extraction.
I understand you'll all need to rest, and you're welcome to do so. I've made sure that there is accommodations prepared. However, I would ask that perhaps your investigation on my behalf take precedence now. We must learn not only what they have learned, but what they intend, both with their spies here and this extraction you have mentioned. This could be terrible for my people and the island. And more worryingly,
You mentioned that
it could be great for the Empire.
You mentioned that there was nothing really on the island. Are there any crystal deposits?
Kind of like she goes, crystal deposits? Kind of like shrugs. Perhaps. I wouldn't know if there were. But again, nothing has been attractive enough to warrant colonization by the continents.
Lockhart was kind of, as he's not doing well, but he's like, does muse the fact that either continent.
Correct. Felix was helped by my people's influence in that regard. Kale, however, I'm not going to deny that we don't have people on Kale. Kind of like has a slightly cheeky look about her.
Sorry, Thane.
Yeah, the armored tail was a giveaway. Did I never
You knew
describe the
it.
armored tail?
Oh,
If you rearrange all the letters in Sir Vanelli Thane, actually spells out, stop talking about him.
no.
Have you?
Never.
Did we ever? Was that his first name?
Yeah, you've known it since like the first arc. It's also an NPC list. It's never been a mystery. We have actually discussed it 3 times in different arcs.
It's just not as good as just saying.
Yeah. So let's not look back to that, shall we?
He's like, share. Okay.
I mean, Lockhart does like the idea of that rest that she just mentioned.
Mm-hmm. The rest sounds good. And then
About 20 hours worth?
I think, did she say she could give us a guide?
I mean, you could ask for one. I think she would fashion you with somebody to try and get you in the rough direction.
Close, yeah.
As far as they can go, kind of thing.
Yeah, and then
To the accommodation?
But you also know, not to the accommodation, they mean to the Rakashans.
Yeah, to as far as into the island as.
But you also know
will
that
go,
from your
you know.
your navigation
mhm,
torque thing
we
that
pretty much know where it is.
We've got a
like,
rough
you've got you've got like
direction.
a bearing at least, yeah.
So maybe we just get someone to give us, like, this is what to look out for King's best friend lizards.
Mhm.
This is when to, like, can they see movement? Is that a lizard thing?
If we stand still.
Just cover our eyes.
Mhm. So, before you turn in for the evening, what is anything else you want to ask of her? Before you turn in for the evening?
I don't know all about her. I don't care about these. I think I want to know about you, Madam TTOT.
And they
Why are
very
you so
much. Oh no!
powerful?
As you've said
What's
that
going
again,
on?
another cat has leapt through the window.
Can't say her name anymore.
I'm going to
Need
call
a
her
code name.
Tot.
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 Yeah, like I think the thing you've gauged from her is she doesn't seem that phased by this, yet certain things do seem to deeply concern her about the implications they could have for her people.
So yeah, seems to be concerned for her people.
She's
rather
not
than
worried
to-
about herself.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
like, she's
so that she
fine.
can
She's great.
Summon lightning from the sky.
She's doing okay.
Would we tell her? Well, again, I wasn't here for the first time we've met her. Did you mention the crystals before? Souls in them.
I don't think so.
I don't think we
Doesn't ring a bell to me.
did.
Should I elaborate more on that then?
Could do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Basically, I'll go into that conversation that missing people, the extraction that was mentioned. Part of our other investigations are concerning some crystals. Seem to contain an amalgam of 12 souls.
She like narrows her eyes when you were saying that. Just you do seem to like shiny things.
Well, His Majesty, the shining example of godliness that is.
She laughs at that.
Emperor, deposited a lot of them in the Arcanatrix, and they were spread all over Cascade
City.
City.
I see. And you say that these
We don't know.
these crystals contained 12 souls?
That's from our information. That's what we found out.
Ah. And she looks very like not sure what to say next that might impact the dynamic you have. Very much like a parent being asked a question, we're like, how do I shape my child's future with these words? And she says, do you know how those crystals are formed? Something strong enough to contain a soul that is resilient enough to resist the pull of the cycle.
Part of our investigation, but we've never got anywhere further.
Well, good. Keep it that way. Don't mess with the cycle. Take it from experience.
We have met many characters in our travels that seem to be of the same mind.
Yes, for good reason. God set it up this way. God's want it kept that way. We shouldn't mess with that. She gives you a wink, like a cheeky wink. Because you know already she is, something's happened where she's messing with that cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't know, so she can like after the GM, she goes, as for cramming in 12 souls into one kind of gem container, I have never heard of such a thing. One maybe, but never as many as 12. It had to be something pretty unnaturally powerful to do this.
Our quest continues then to find out the answer of this. We don't trust it. We
Or
need
should
to
you?
take back information. Yes. It seemed like a boon at first. Many of the people of Cascade thought they had been given gifts. Our investigations lead us to think it's much more dangerous.
She looks off into this, like the kind of like middle distance, as if in deep thought, and you know you've kind of lost a bit of her attention. And she goes, "I wonder if no, have you considered this as a distraction to keep you busy elsewhere and not looking here.
And yet we still end up here.
In Lockhart, there is enough of like same with you, Nori, because you are both relatively insightful like that way instinctually. Like you can tell that she's like, can you maybe just stop telling me about a million other things and go investigate my problem? There's a hint of that, right? There's a hint of that in what she's saying. She's like, maybe that's not something we have to worry about yet. Maybe we could focus on this problem. That's my immediate problem. But she's also being
Somebody's gonna
dismissive of.
tap me in the shoulder and drag me away.
I mean, you could also sit up all night with her. Like, she'd probably sit up with you. There's no 10-hour rest for you.
Yeah, that's exactly my point. I need more than 10-hour rest.
So, are we ending the night there? Unless Nori's got anything else to say.
Another seat. No, it's on another seat. That's all I'm about.
Okay, so you get your, 10-hour rest, etc.
Oh,
I've got my 1 hour to use first, so I'll do both, I guess.
Yep.
Have 11 hours of rest.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone need the extra two? Have an extra 2
yeah.
points on each one. I'll give one for
yeah, same with emotional support pet.
Yeah.
the.
So effectively, everything have their +3 to their to the rolls they have. Not bad, Lockhart.
Why did that come up red?
It's
Because we rolled ones.
1 + 4 + 3.
Mm-hmm.
I need more rest.
Same.
Yeah.
I
think I might
don't
do that
even need my. I
actually
don't need my
as
10 hours, but I'll have. I'm at full again.
Oh,
Again, you were built for this. Like, combat is your jam.
Great. Yeah. Just.
Yep.
So no.
Yep. Hmm.
okay.
I'll press it just for shits and gigs
Yep.
to see what I get this time. Great. Cool.
Oh god, I don't know what I clicked there. So sorry.
Okay.
Okay, I
So-
think that's me back and forth.
I just want to confirm something here.
Okay.
Ignysera, you're taking 11 hours. You have to
Yeah,
use
I
your 1
suppose
plus 10.
Well, I had to use my 1, and
Mhm.
I want to use the 10 up, so we're back to
Yeah.
action.
Right. So
So-
in that case, I'm using my my original action
Okay.
And
So
my
you're,
10
so you're
minutes.
so you're
and
waking
then
up.
my other one again.
You're waking up,
Yeah.
and then you're using your recoveries in the morning. So you're taking a bit more time to get to breakfast, basically.
Are you remembering to use the extra?
Yes.
Well-
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
And
I
emotional
am
support.
that badly injured here.
So are you
I need
helping?
another
So is
11.
Nori going to you guys in your accommodation to make sure that you can then provide more magic in the morning
11.
with repairing flesh
Wonderful.
and
Yeah, I can.
yep,
It's some kind of communal.
yeah.
I need another 17 points to be fully healed.
Oh,
I was
And that
sitting at
damage
2
I
on
feel like
0.
maybe I just don't have enough points. Maybe everyone's got way more points than me or something.
It's not that. It's that Nori fought someone that used divided by 3 on
yeah,
That's
for a whole session. Yeah.
yeah.
well. If you're going to do your extra, you're going to do what, an extra action and an extra 10 minutes.
And probably
Yeah.
an extra, depending how they 2 rolls go. Maybe even
So
an extra
yeah,
hour.
remember you've got pet and
Yeah.
2
Yeah.
for each roll.
There we go. That's getting better. And then I'll do my 10 minutes. And let's see if... So that was 10 plus 3. 13 takes that up. Gives me 2 on there. Leaves me looking for another 5. Leaves me looking for another 6.
You didn't have to roll for that.
Full
by the way.
health.
Yeah. Because remember, it's a d6 plus 4. You're rolling with a plus 3. You definitely don't need to roll
Yeah.
it if you're getting the. But
Oh,
I understand the
trust me, I
enjoyment.
did.
Lockhart, how you looking?
I'm back to full now. I did have to use my action after my 10 hours, but I am back to full
Okay.
Because I did use quite a lot of intellect as well.
Yeah.
It was,
The good thing is Nori recovers quickly anyway, so that 10 minutes only takes an action for Nori anyway, as well. So Nori's quite quick back,
Okay.
which is very nifty. But yeah, you all have a lie-in and somewhat help each other with some magic to try and get yourselves back up and running. You can already smell the mint tea on the tray outside the room door. It's filling the room uncomfortably, but you know, you definitely do feel more mellow after you have it, so it's worth maybe having. And yeah, use your plan for the day is to what? Go scout out the location, or what? What is the plan? Talk to me. What's the plan for this day?
To each other.
I suppose, yeah, we want to go to the Raction side and try and scout it. Do we need to pick up anything for that journey? Because that's what we were actually trying to do, weren't we, in the market? And then things happened. So,
yeah.
Was there anything else we needed to get before we go?
Well, there's one very important thing that we can get because someone worked through the night after they recovered. Alu Ben gives you your bow back. However, your bow, it has been returned, and it is obviously your longbow, but at the top and the bottom of the actual bow itself, there is those bladed pincers that were taken off the cave crawlers. So this thing is essentially a melee weapon that you can hold with 2 hands.
Stunning.
You can use wreck with it.
You just hold onto your bow the whole time.
So it's now a ranged weapon and a melee weapon in one.
That's cool.
Okay.
And Aluben's words to you are somewhat along the lines of, I'm paraphrasing her mostly because Falkwin isn't here, but it was, it's not as good as a bronze bark with fashion, as is their way with bladed bows. But it is the best I could do with the materials and the time at hand.
Okay. Should I list this as 2 separate things on my attack?
Well, it's a melee attack and a ranged attack, so yeah.
Or-
So I would say bladed bow attack for the melee side of things. And it's...
That's cool.
Might or speed?
It's a
Like
melee
that,
attack,
I
so
suppose.
it's a melee attack, so it's your choice in the moment. The best thing about the system. Gotta love that. Love that feature.
Speed. Damage.
6.
Oh,
Now, I am trained with medium and light weapons. But with the bow,
So your practice with medium and light weapons is the correct terminology.
yes.
Or untrained is the same word as practiced in this system, annoyingly. And hindered is the bad one, where you take a -3. So you're hindered with heavy weapons.
Yes.
Okay.
What would this count as?
Well, it's a heavy weapon for melee.
Oh,
But you've got your medium bow skill with attack,
Yes.
don't you? So it's effectively a normal roll. Because this is your bow. This is the benefit of it being on your bow, rather than just you having a heavy sword. But this is something this is a almost signature weapon of Bronzebark Elves. Is bladed bows, where it's the wood itself is that sharp. The bronze bark.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's effectively a bit like a batleth, effectively.
That's what I was picturing, yeah.
This would then be immediate distance.
Yeah. Unless you threw it really hard.
Yeah.
So effectively you're trained on attacks with your bow at range and your normal on attacks with melee bow Because it should be hindered, but you use tasks on it at the same time, so it balances out.
If he throws the bow, does it become a melee or a ranged?
No, it probably just falls a couple of feet away from him.
Why is it asking for what's mod?
Don't worry about the mod. Mod is 0.
Cost?
Nope. She does also mention that if you're a bit too rough with it, it may fall apart. The blade parts. She's not had enough time to make it as well as she would have liked. Should have liked should have liked an entire magical alchemical lab to have grown the wood into blades, but she's working with the pincers that she had.
Yeah. Do you want this put in as an artifact as well then, so I can do a...
It's not an artifact.
No, but I mean, for just so I've got the depletion roll.
What depletion
Or
roll?
the depletion. No, okay, it'll
Yeah.
just depend on
No, it's just
how it's used.
yeah, it is just a... I understand why you're asking it now, because I mentioned if you were too rough with it. No, I mean more like if I specifically am damaging weaponry, it's easier to break this one. It goes down in a... Like, so there's a damage on object damage track, like you have the debilitated impaired stuff as well. Objects have those tracks as well. This just has one less box.
Okay.
But you don't need to worry about that.
Cool.
It'll make sense at the time.
Perfect. Did
Okay,
she also take the sand for any investigations?
Oh yeah, you've given that to her like as a reply to this scene, I guess. But she's had enough time now to sit and like, string this thing together. Considering her rest happened when she was like burnt out through Falkwin. So, given that situation, it meant she was like, maybe I should work on that fucking bow. But yeah.
I'm over the moon.
Well, soon.
On the moon. I'd rather be
Yeah.
on the moon. Yes.
But yes, this is what she was working on. This was her idea way back when, was the, if you're a Bronzebark Elf, you've just discovered that give you something of your people, a traditional weapon. You already use bows quite well, so why not? But yeah, so that's the thing that happens in that morning as well. Any other supplies that you want to get that are obvious?
To buy a trinket from the market.
Okay. Any particular idea what you would like the trinket to be, or would you like me to find a random trinket generator?
I want that. It needs to be something like, "This is Saurian."
Trinket.
I don't know what that would be. Something lizardy.
Let's see if I can find something. Any environment, let's go for wilderness, because there's no rural, sea, wilderness, city, dungeon. Yeah, wilderness will need to do. Theme. Air, celestial, fairy, fire, frost, romance, sea, or spooky is the themes. No theme is fine. Let's see what we get. Okay, so the list here, these aren't great, right? But I'll read them out anyway and I'll find maybe a better roller. But it says, a ring made of from linen that always smells of baking bread. I want that.
That's just fun. That's just cool.
A mechanical spider with 2 runes associated with hunting. I don't really... Nope. A desiccated tiefling foot. No, thank you. A tortoise shell you found up a tree. I mean, I love that. A simple skull made from cork with a drawing of a deity fighting a massive serpent. A bare hunk of chitin, with the name Firilena Ungart marked into it. A scorpion claw clutching a bent copper coin. A leather bracer, a desiccated nail of a giant adorned with leaves, and an odd platinum coin given to you by a shaman. I think those are kind of garbage. Let's see if we can find a better list. Dandy's World of Trinkets, spin the wheel.
Oh, spin the wheel.
What could this be?
£1 for another roll.
Thinking cap is what it said there. I don't like this. This is nonsense. What else did we get? We got a brick! Okay, no. That's
Perfect. A
Have they
brick.
come from
That's-
clerics?
so random. Okay, so we've got art objects, book names, drow name generator. Where else is it? Treasure, pickpocketing, trinkets. A D1200. Let's go with that and let's see what we get. So roll again, please. A walnut. There seems to be magical properties to it, maybe. That's fantastic. A magical tome. When the spells inside are cast, the effect is never the same, are extremely stupid, and the spells aren't what's written in the tome. And then we've got a crystal pen that will only write in green ink. What else we got? A 20-sided die. Let's see. Oh, a lot of these are dragon-based. Not appropriately dragon-based, sadly. Very, like, chromatic dragon-based. A rat skull with a beautiful yet unidentifiable family crest carved into it. Fleabite, is this you? A set of blue marble earrings that glow faintly in the presence of pork. I love that so
Fun.
much.
Then.
Yeah. I mean, that's amazing. They don't need to be earrings. They could be some other trinket-shaped thing if you wanted it to be like, I don't know, like a paperweight that glows in the presence of pork. But earrings are kind of fun too.
Would Uncle, does he wear earrings? Does he have pierced ears? Or no, does he have ears?
The things you have to ask
I
yourself.
don't know.
It's like when you think, does that person have a beard or a mustache? Let's see what else we've got. You like them?
I think that's fun. Yeah, because I think I'll find like I'll see like earrings or some kind of gem or something that looks like it looks pretty on the side. Like that's really pretty, and then like you find out it glows around pork.
Yeah, you're walking through like a meat rack or whatever,
Right.
and it's like, oh wait, why do they glow now? The other thing I've just rolled on that same table, which is great, but for the implications in this game are terrifying. A small hand mirror which only reflects inanimate objects.
No, thank you.
Yep.
Nope.
The hilt of a broken greatsword, when held with both hands, blood runs down along the remnants of the blade. That's horrible. But like a broken saurian blade hilt or something would be cool as well. A clear glass bottle that can be used as an eyeglass. A tooth from an unknown beast.
Oh,
Fun.
Ooh.
Just load up on
Great,
trinkets.
great.
Yeah. A blob of grey goo, slippery but safe to touch, kept in a ceramic pot.
Slime.
Like literally just like slime. The slime toy.
Slime. Oh my gosh.
And then no, that's too specific. A famous calligrapher's personal brush. No, thank you. Some of these are wildly like just weird. Like the necklace of a sibling who died on the day you were born. Like these are great for like backstory plot points, but
Yeah.
an arrowhead carved from sea salt. That's cool.
That's fun. Oh no, but what if you drop it in water? It's like the raccoon who loses his
Yeah.
cotton candy.
Oh.
So sad.
Then it's also like,
Every
I
time I
need
see it.
some seasoning.
Yeah.
Hang on,
Okay.
just shave a bit off my...
The arrowhead. So yeah, any of those stand out? Are we going with the earrings of
I'm
pork?
going for the pork earrings.
Mhm.
Do you just feel like a wizard misspell orc.
Yeah.
It's a spell.
Yeah, it was cursive.
Yeah.
No pun
So I was
intended.
like, pork?
You're supposed to be in a diet. You've had pork in here again, haven't you?
I love that. It's good. Okay, what are you trading for them?
Trading.
All this pork I thought, no.
All this pork. I already got rid of my old tent, didn't I? Did I?
Yeah, you gave it to
Okay.
Ben for resource parts.
Yes.
Some of that lives in the bow now.
What do I have to trade? I have a small mirror, a basic sewing kit, my engraved
You have a
locket.
small what?
Mirror,
Why?
just because I do.
To be fair, Ignysera doesn't come from the Fae, so that seems legitimate. Please allow one.
Yeah, my locket and a letter writing kit.
Ooh. I could have
Don't
given you
think
some sachets of tea.
I also have a level 5 cipher, but I feel like that's maybe too much to trade for this.
I mean, these are pretty damn good earrings when you think about it. If you ever needed to find out if there was pork.
As if you kept allow. Important.
It's very important. Like, for some people, yeah, it'd be really important.
You can
Yeah,
tell
it's fun.
someone's ship sunk, and these have washed up on this. Right, that's clearly the backstory to these.
Yeah, I don't have that much to trade. My scarf. Oh,
You've got a luxury tent as well, remember?
yeah, but I like my luxury tent.
You should probably keep that.
I should probably keep it.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Will they take my letter writing kit?
Yeah, they'll trade you for that.
It's
yeah.
nice.
Yep, they'll happily trade
I
that.
haven't been writing letters recently, so and I'm sure I can pick something else up.
But now you can't tell people about these cool pork earrings.
I know. Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Adding
Nice.
it into my equipment, taking out the letter writing kit, putting in pork earrings. Pork earrings. Not earrings made of pork. Pork earrings.
I love it. It's so good.
Wonderful.
Can we just fast forward
Thank
to
you.
however many months it's going to be until he gets this gift, so we can just have that scene. But yeah, so you've got your.
I wouldn't even tell him. I wouldn't tell him what the earring they actually did.
I'll say they glow, but you've got to find out how they glow. It'd be a fun little
Mystery is
game.
you've got
Also,
to
to
find
remember
out
that
why it's
actually-
glow. Yeah.
He'd like that, I think.
Like wandering through Cascade City holding earrings up to things and not that. Right, what else are you picking up? Anything important other than like
I wondered about trying to get more uses for my healer's kit.
yeah, what are you trading?
And I'm down to 1.
I have a healing kit as well.
I also have a writing kit. I probably need that. I have a quarterstaff I never use.
Yeah, I'll give you another use if you
Like-
trade your staff, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Trade
another
my
use.
staff.
Yep. Another use for that. Yep.
I've got a long sword. Anybody need a long sword?
Could trade it for something.
All I can think of is we got everything we needed from the shopping list I was sent on before we were attacked, didn't we?
I think so.
Oh,
I don't even know what that shopping list was.
I
But
don't remember either, but let's just say yeah. It was mostly stuff Ali Ben wanted though, as well.
yeah,
And the shopping
Oh,
list
yeah.
got curtailed somewhat because you gave her the tent materials as well. So yeah.
I assume they don't have any King's Best Friend extras.
No. Because of what you learned about the pheromones attracting that Namaj Neb.
Because
Did we have something to mask?
Yep, we've got a
the
level
send
8
over
cipher
from
or something.
Myr'ra? Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, so we don't need anything for that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
think
fine.
I think we're okay then.
Okay.
We should probably
I'd like to look around just to see if I can track down any ciphers,
just
because I don't have any.
You don't have any ciphers? What?
I only have one.
Oh, traded them all a long time ago.
Okay, give me a roll for looking around, and then what are we?
Maybe there's better ciphers.
Perception?
Sure, why not?
I'm just going to do a natural. Not going to add anything to it.
Give me them ones.
Nope.
Well, that is
A 1.
9.
yeah, it's 9. Remember, you're specialised with your eyes.
Oh, okay, yes. Okay.
Forget that you're good at perception.
Yeah.
What do your half-elven eyes see? I don't know. I was closed. So you look around. You don't have anything enough to trade to get like something probably worthwhile, right? Cipher-wise. So you need to find something like a sword won't cut it, for example, right? No pun intended. You would need to find something a bit
I
more
wonder
oomphy.
I have a level 5 cipher that is like it's okay. If there's something that's more useful for what we've got. The one that I have now is Cursebringer. So you give it to someone, and if they don't know what it is,
You mean
then
you
the
could?
next time they
You
try
had a
something-
trinket this whole time. You could have given your uncle.
That's not a trinket. I can't give that. I'd have to tell
A
him
winter
what to
sprint scarf?
Yeah, you could probably trade that for.
Yeah, I think I'll trade that. I don't see any winter in my future at the moment.
Roll a d100 for me.
Oh, devastated.
1.
Uh-oh. But now we can't be like scarf friends.
Well, Lockheart already gave his away.
Yeah.
I gave mine to a good person to give it to.
Yeah, I think so. I agree.
Ooh.
Bear with.
I thought of invisibility.
No. Well, I'm going to pose this anyway because it's what you rolled. Can you roll a d6 for me? Roll 2d6, in fact. Just roll another one for me.
This is getting progressively more ominous.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so... You obviously pose the supply question, etc., and any kind of useful items that could be, done for X, Y, or Z. And you offer up, like you're asking, obviously, Madam TTOT where to go in the market, or which particular market to go to, because there's like 3 or whatever in the big settlement. She points to all the locations you need to go to collect your stuff, but she says she'll take the scarf. And she hands you this object that I have yet to work out what the fuck it is. But I'll just read you the text first for dramatic effect. Deathbringer. For the next minute, when the user strikes an NPC or a creature of the cipher level or lower, they can choose to make a second attack roll. If the second attack roll is a success, the target is killed.
Oh.
If the target is a PC, the character moves down on the damage track 1 step. And level 4 is the level of cipher.
Okay. Probably not going to help us kill the Marshnet, but yeah.
It's unlikely to kill Nemaj Neb, It's unlikely to kill
We would
a
want
Whisker of
to.
the Empire, but it's probably like
Yeah.
able to kill a lot of people that
Regular.
aren't like an elite.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think she just hands you some kind of like dainty, kind of almost bone carved, like it looks like a probably like what, 15 centimeter long like knitting needle type thing that's all like carved, really kind of in very fine detail out of bone, and there's like some like holes in the other side that like as you move it, it makes a little whistly noise. And she's like, you just put this in someone's neck. It will break, but so will they. As she's like tying the scarf around her own neck, saying this, enjoying the
Now I
comfort.
want bone knitting needle. That's so cool.
Yeah, and that was legit the thing you rolled. Yeah, so I was like, well, we're gonna go for that because we did talk about assassination.
It fits.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just dump
The
it there for
dice
you.
knew.
Have you posted the text I can copy?
Yep, level 4, bone needle. And it is 100% definitely not the Gom Jabbar. But as someone that's been playing a lot of Dune Awakening, it felt appropriate. Okay, what else are you picking up? Anything else, or is that our supply list done? Like, what more do we need? We've got earrings that can find pork, and we've got a knitting needle of death. We're sorted.
That's all we need.
What else is there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else could life possibly have that beats that? Okay. Can I get some navigation rolls from the group to get through the...
As I finish typing. It's good to have a cipher again. And I'm glad I asked.
Yeah, quite right. That's how it
Navigation.
works.
I can help Nori.
Arguably, Myr'ra would be better helping. Magical.
Oh, because I know where
Compass.
it is. Yeah. I help.
I will take 2 assets.
Yeah, now you can have that.
Yeah.
That's fine by me. Why
I
not?
can also at any point just do the thing where I like hover over the tree line
Mhm.
and be like, we're going the right way.
Yeah.
My rolls are terrible.
You say that, but it is a plus 12 on that, which is what, 19?
19.
Yeah. So, a couple of days pass as you're travelling. I'm assuming do you use pop up the luxury tent at any point, or do you use, like travel more rustic?
I suppose when if we're sleeping or whatever, we can pop up the tent.
Yeah.
As long as it's not too like out in the open.
It's not got like Vegas searchlights that go into the sky or anything, so but
Yeah.
it is definitely like quite a big, like almost expedition style tent thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'd see it
bell
like your,
tent, yeah.
and when you go inside, the place is bigger on the inside. Like
It's Odyssey.
it is very much like,
It's like the Harry Potter tents.
so it has like obviously as many like rooms as was required per the guest limit, and yeah, there's like a big kind of like brazier in the middle as well with hot coals in it that don't give off any flame but give off heat, but like a sauna tent. It's probably a bit uncomfortable for like Lockhart and Nori and Falkwin, but
I just pick one up and
Sounds
start just like tossing.
yeah, but like obviously for our 2 like more fire adept people, it's a lot easier to, it's much more comfortable temperate here. Did they give you a depletion? Did I give you a depletion roll for this?
I don't think so.
I don't remember either, if I'm honest.
I don't think it did. And to be fair, I don't think I have the text saved.
I mean, I did make
Oh no,
this
it
up.
is. It's
from
one. It's 1 in D20.
Okay, do you want to roll your D20 for me? We'll see. Not bad. Do you want to give me, if it was 3 nights we've been travelling for, do you want to give me another 2? Hey, it doesn't deplete.
Oh, good.
Okay. As you approach closer to where you think this encampment would be, you have observed Rakishans on patrol. And they've been going up and down the coastline. You have stuck higher up into the kind of like tree line. These are kind of at the edge of the friend zone or the territorial donut zone. These are staying kind of on your side of it, obviously, but it's like higher up from the coastline. As you work your way down, and obviously you have to kind of camp in the friend zone to try and hide the tent, etc. But luckily, you don't need to set a campfire and stuff because within the tent, it's keeping everything nice and toasty. But yeah, you're getting closer and closer to this, like, effectively big encampment. You can see there's palisade walls been erected as well. So they've obviously like cut down trees, they've fortified areas. It does definitely seem to be fortified against the direction of which that Saurian village was, that they obviously many days away. You can tell maybe that's probably happened because of a result of them catching scouts. It's likely, because why would you fortify if you're if you're like 3 days away? Why would you bother, right? But yeah, is your plan to go to the coast and go round, go further up in elevation to go round? Coast is probably the dumb choice, just as something that you would all know from basic survival against approaching a hostile force. But the option is there.
It's the last thing they expect us.
For some reason, the pork earrings want us to go to the...
The closer we are to danger.
I know we're focused on task. If we go further up into the friend zone,
we
we
get
can
some
maybe
eggs.
2 birds, 1 stone it, and see if we can find some eggshells as well.
Could do.
And then really alert the camp to presence having a fight with a T-Rex.
I have an idea about
It's good
that.
cover. We're not there for them. We're there for the T-Rex.
Yeah, I think you mean lead a T-Rex to their camp.
Or have them rescue us.
And then, oh my gosh, thank you.
Thank you so
We're
much.
indebted to the Empire.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Yeah, these are all good plans. Or at least plans.
Thank you.
But what he's doing, which one of them? Okay, mind reading was off in 5, 4.
I think. Go on. No, go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we have to go further up and go round.
Stay in the
'Cause
hills.
I think approaching palisade walls seems like a bad plan.
If we can get to a slightly more elevated position, if we can see over.
Yeah.
or
We've come for the
anything,
grail!
And then if there happen to be any eggshells around.
So, are we
Remember that
gonna
glass bottle we could use as a spyglass? That would...
go stealthy in, or are we gonna go looking for eggshells?
Oh,
You
we
get to
need to go
pick.
stealthy in, don't
We
we?
need to go stealthy in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's more important.
If there
Like, where
is
we
a
want the
walk
eggshells.
back, maybe that's when you look for the eggshells.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll just always got an eye out. Just always be looking.
Yeah.
For
Always looking for a
eggshells.
nest of a T-Rex.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It'll definitely just be out there in the open.
I think as well, like the noises of the nighttime are not comforting here, as well. And every so often there is that like earth-shaking roar, right? Every so often over the 3 days. Doesn't sound
Any more
great.
big lights?
No, none. You can't see much from inside the tent though, obviously, but you can definitely hear. And yeah, so you start to you find like a decent overlook from that, kind of like a good vantage point on the camp below. But it looks like someone else has camped here.
Oh.
There's enough of there's enough skill between all of you to have picked up on someone else has camped here. This is not this is clearly a good lookout zone.
Is there any evidence of it that it was Saurians that camped here?
You could roll. Yeah. Give me an intellect roll, or if you've got a skill that would
I'd-
help discern.
Give you the help action.
Want me to do perception again?
Yeah, I'll say Nori. Why don't you have a look out?
Nori, look here and think this.
Mhm.
Give it a go. See what we get. See what we get. Wow, have you angered the dice gods?
Oh, I have. I'm going to quit this and come back in again.
It's still like 11, right? So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell, right? It is hard to tell what could have camped here before. It seems to have been cleaned up pretty well, but it doesn't look like a Saurian footprint or a Rakishan footprint. Looks human.
What?
Can Lockhart just have a go at us thinking of?
Yeah. Why not? You can't use your spyglass to look at the floor.
Thinking of understanding.
Okay, yeah. I mean, object is good enough, right? Yeah. Dum 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 dum. Tension.
Hmm.
We're getting a perception roll. What did we get?
18? 16.
16.
Yeah, similarly, it's clearly not Rakishan or Saurian. Does kind of look realistically human or elven, given the fact that it seems like somebody wearing boots. But probably human, because elves probably wouldn't be this easy to spot. And it looks like it was from the last night.
Interesting.
Is it furry things?
It's hairy thing.
Did he
Yeah.
wear
From
this?
last night.
If you look really closely, it's got like a backwards S and E.
Okay, I would like
what-
to.
What phase of the moon are we in?
Yeah, I was just thinking no, he was meant to be up on the moon for longer, wasn't he?
You just can't
2
tell
weeks.
which phase of the moon it is because the moon's dimming yellow.
Oh yeah.
Remember, the moon's
Oh.
broken.
Yeah, moon's broken.
I love the casual things you say about RP. Remember, the moon's broken? You can't tell that.
Need to turn it off and on again.
I still can't get over the fact the moon's a city. Okay.
When Lockhart tells us this, I'm going to use this.
Okay. Okay, do you want to give me another perception roll?
I will give you the help action. I don't know if I can do that.
I don't
help.
think in this
Okay.
instance.
Can I hold him up?
To wave him round. Yeah.
Just
We
move
all
it.
want our breath to be quieter.
I mean, I could see that. That seems reasonable. I'd probably have tried to justify worse. So,
We can give an answer.
sure, why not?
Yay!
Oh, bugger. I'll do that again.
Sorry.
I just got by that bit. Submit.
Always let people try and bullshit me first, and then we'll see how the rolls go.
That's that one.
But usually it's a case of if I can see myself saying this to a GM, it's likely something I'm going to allow.
16 again.
Okay. Right. Someone's watching you. You can't tell where from. But there's definitely someone observing your group from not that far away. But again, you're not sure where. They could be obscured physically or magically. But there's something just off. Enough that it triggers Nori. Your elven senses are tingling.
Their emotional state? Are
Nope,
they
nope,
hostile?
you got nothing on that, I'm afraid. Just the very fact that you could even pick up that there's somebody here is impressive. Never mind anything deeper. And then obviously, standard wildlife that may have like been on the outskirts of this area because it's been scared off somewhat by the encampment below, right?
Boom.
Can I just throw out there that as before we leave camp every morning, I will be like in the tunnels. I'll be telepathing us,
Okay, sure.
and I'll be spending the effort to do it for a full day. So I'll just every morning re-up that.
No worries, yeah. No problemo.
So in that case, as we are messing about in the camp, then I will obviously message to Myr'ra saying there's someone watching us. I don't know where from.
Okay.
Please let the other guys know.
I will ping everyone, telling them that, and probably not very subtly try and look around.
I will ping back. Please be subtle.
So nah,
Too late.
no, we'll just stare at the floor instead.
Yeah. From the overlook, okay,
Mhm.
we'll deal with some visuals first before we get to who or what is watching you. You look down into the camp, and there does seem to be like it's like almost like an entryway fortification to a bigger encampment, much bigger encampment, as in this could be a small town, or well, I guess a reasonably large town. This encampment, and there's like a jetty being built, makeshift jetty, obviously, out of like, you know, it's not perfect, but it is being reinforced from the glance. You can see there's work being done to it to make it better, and it does lead to a very impressive ship in the sea, or at least far enough out that it's, you know, this jetty thing's leading to it. And the ship itself seems to be quite impressive, somewhat familiar, you could say, to one that you may or may not have seen in a certain harbour city. And the hull now seems to be different. It seems to be quite reflective, as if there's been something adorned to the hull as well. So it's catching the light. So it takes a second or two for you to like focus on it when you are doing your quick glance. But obviously the quick glance visuals, which I skipped over, were very quickly replaced by, is that a human footprint with a boot? Because we know that Rakashans and Saurians don't necessarily wear a lot of footwear for mobility reasons and stability reasons, so and then that pulls your attention to the person observing you, etc., and now we're in this moment. What's your plan, knowing that you are being observed currently by potentially a human at a special overlook site? That's
Well, we could essentially just talk to him. Shocking, that's what the speaker suggests, but
give it a go.
this essentially I feel like it's either that or Nori tries to sneak up on them.
It's a bit difficult because, yeah, I mean, Nori can turn invisible now, but like, yeah.
Like, I generally don't think it would be beyond Nori, but it's probably simpler.
I have no
I've been
doubt.
rolling today. Everything's beyond Nori.
Could get
I
like
have-
another one.
Yeah. If we were going to go down that route, then we set up camp as we know. When we enter the camp as though the tent as though we're going down for the night, somebody would leave it. I'd use my invisibility to get back out into the wilderness and then try and track them.
Okay.
If you wanted to go down that route, or we could just simply, as you say,
Yeah.
we know you're there.
We know where we're watching. Why are you watching?
Yeah. And that would be our speaker.
Could give it a go if you wanted, yeah.
Um, So I think I would go with like Lockhart would probably try and casually just essentially say it's quite an impressive view, isn't it?
You're saying this to the trees around you.
Yeah. And looking a bit sort of from the trees to the view is sort of kind of, nonchalant, like, yeah, we know you're in there, but I'm looking at the view right now. But it's an interesting, wasn't it? Yeah.
Okay, 1 second.
Whisker of the Empire is on you.
Say Madam TTOT. Just a moment, please. Okay, so 1 second. So, as you say that to the, was it like lovely view, isn't it? You hear from the trees. Lockheart, Dourf?
Damn it.
That you? A somewhat familiar voice. To also Myr'ra and Falkwin. And then some of the trees shimmer away, and out walks former Grandmaster Gimble in his survival gear and Hawaiian shirt. And he's like, "Why the hell are you on Dinosaur Island?" And then we end the session there.
Oh my god!
Oh, I was going through who could it be? Who could it be?
Bastard.
Yeah. What was it?
My emotions!
Yeah.
You're not dead.
Mm.
There was a moment where I
wasn't
thought I was
alive.
dead.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm waiting for Scott to join.
Oh, if only. If only, it'd be amazing. Especially the Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ah, that's so cool.
Mm.
Careful, careful.
That's getting an exclamation mark in the notes.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't even.
I'm just gonna write Gamble lives.
Gimble lives. Mhm. What would you like to call the session? Well,
That gamble.
I mean, I wrote KFC, Compass Menace. I guess Gimble Lives is pretty good as well. The Project, The Extraction. And mostly I know it's saying Falkwin needs all those recovery rolls, please make sure he gets them.
Mm.
So our suggestions so far are Whisker from Death, not bad. Any others? Boy need love. Wait, Kimble lives.
Hmm.
Brain empty, no thoughts.
Yeah,
Yep,
my
that's
brain
fine.
is just like.
Just funny. Compass Mentis is too funny for me. I'm in a Discord server with someone that's username is that.
It's a good name.
Yeah.
It's actually from the new Puss in Boots film. Calls himself the Stabby Tabby.
That's good.
For several minutes.
Yeah. It's good. It's very good. That's probably why they're called it as well, to be fair.
No, my brain's gone. Sorry.
I mean, definitely that was not a serious suggestion.
That's what I
But
wanted.
it is good.
It's good. Right.
I don't want to get nitro for that. Why do they keep asking me that?
Yeah, don't get them. It's a good app, but really, I have a funny feeling. Are we getting a? Get one. We get two. Get one's there. Trigger phrase. Rock
That's very good.
I think Whisker from Death's winning though, by the looks of things.
Yeah. I'll change mine from live. There we go.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm never changing it. No.
Goals.
Oh,
Okay. So investigate repercussions on Dino Island for Madam TTOT. We have done things towards that.
These are there. You're ready to investigate.
We're there. We know that there's something they're extracting.
can we argue that we gained something actionable from the cat? We found the location of the
Yeah.
camp
No, I think that was fine.
through
Yeah.
the scanning and stuff. And then we found out about the extraction.
Extraction, yeah.
Okay.
Does that mean we get
I
it?
edit that. I don't know how I do that.
That's okay. And what else?
Ignysera got her souvenir.
I got my souvenir. I haven't given it, but my goal was to get a souvenir, not give a souvenir. Therefore, it's done.
Valid argument.
Well, it's the same as the argument of staying alive is not a valid goal, right?
No. Did we have a goal about Nori's bow? No.
No.
Mm.
We have a goal about Mr. Gamble because I can't see it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we
We,
did.
we add more question marks to that one.
Investigate his murder.
Is it-
Investigated non-murder. Perhaps the rumours of my death have been greatly exaggerated.
Yeah, once he says that, that investigation's over.
Does he know that he's thought of dead? Maybe he's just ignorant of it. Thinks he's still the Grandmaster.
Oh.
But surely he
Usurped.
got the message.
Oh. This is
Plans within plans within plans.
Yep.
Gamble's alive.
Gamble's alive. Okay, I think that's the goals. Are we adding any?
Why is Gamble alive?
That way we can investigate his murder properly.
Yeah, if you kill him with the Gom Jabbar, I mean the legally distinct needle.
I would imagine he's above a level 4.
I also would imagine this, but maybe since losing his job, it's knocked him down. What's a second death between friends? But yeah, okay. Wrap up chat time then. I think if that's the case, XP wise, that's 4 XP by the way for everybody. I don't know if you've realised that.
What? Huh?
No, didn't.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of XP.
Oh.
Mhm.
Just
make sure-
First
I have to look at
advance.
things.
Make
I had
sure.
enough problems looking at things. I'm going to have to look again now.
Well, maybe don't do productive sessions. Should have antagonized the cat more and just fought it for the whole session. Given it weaponry.
Oh.
Here
Here you go.
heal it up,
There's a
give it
focus.
weaponry, yeah.
Have some tea.
Okay, well, we've dealt with XP there. Wrap up chat time. Let's start with Lockheart.
I was just about to find that gif of the Simpsons monkey knife fight.
Mm.
And basically, Nori and the Russian. But yeah, I mean, can't just drop that on us. Ah, Gamble, the heartache that we went through finding out that he was dead. Now he's back. Random NPC that we didn't expect to hit so hard. Yeah, we found out quite a bit.
Okay, loads.
And yeah, surprising how useful mind reading can be.
Imagine.
And then just chatting him up a bit and various things. I did actually use quite a lot of stuff there talking to him, and when you've got 5 effort, suddenly every problem seems to look like a 5 effort solution. So you can start cutting through them 9 at a time. So expensive, but
And then occasionally your throat gets nicked,
Well, yeah, that was an interesting one because I did use up. I only have 11 speed, so I was like, I can use 9 to get quite a bit of effort to try and get ahead, to try and then hold them so they can't do the problem. Then it meant when they did a speed attack, I was like, I have no speed left. And then basically doing the same thing with my might. Like, okay, I spent it all, it didn't quite have enough, so now that they're attacking me back, I've got so much. So, yeah, that was. I don't think I've ever gone through as many resources in a single session.
But I think that's what they were saying during the fight with the cats, the last session as well, was while we're powerful and get good discounts, it does make you spend more, and you achieve more because of it, but it does mean you can fight a lot, because effectively, like they were saying, they felt like they were fighting things tougher than Farron. In some ways. It's not like the Farron fight wasn't tough. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, no, good. Glad you enjoyed
I did enjoy the it's just being able to see the tier of threat. Like, okay, just keep myself down alone, all's fine. Okay, I'm creeping up, need to big them up now.
And it was very much a snapshot, like in terms of that, because obviously it doesn't know what you're capable of. It just knows that Ignysera turned up and smacked it unconscious with a sword in one go after having danced with a very, worthy adversary. He'd never admit that, but you were holding your own against each other, until it was tipped against him.
And obviously, very much, Madame TTOT is sort of wanted person number 1 of the Rakshans. So that's good information. I felt we should have made more of an effort to get that one's name. That was an oversight on my part.
Meh.
I think we could have used that when we inevitably get captured.
You aren't going to dress up as Rakishans? Go in the camp?
Give me 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, surely we could have skinned that one.
Not that she's torched the ball.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so yeah, we found a lot there.
Yeah, no, lots in this session. Lots and lots, info-wise. And again, good old Gamble making his star appearance at the end. Nori.
I tried so hard to bait the Rakishan, and Ignysera says one word in the whole conversation and sends him off his rock. I mean, what's the point to do? I mean, come on, I tried my best.
You definitely did. I think that was the point though, like Lockheart touched on it a little bit. He's dealing with effectively an ambassador himself, right? Like he's up against someone that's, put it this way, if there's a Rakishan ambassador somewhere in the world, there's a good chance they might be one of the Whiskers of the Empire.
As an infiltrator, as a spy, as a...
Like, why would you send an actual diplomat when you could send an assassin? Right? So just train assassins how to talk. Yeah. Train them how to talk. Don't train your diplomats how to fight.
Why Lockhart travels with Nori.
Yes, exactly.
That's why Nori's learning a lot.
Yeah.
It's another good session. It's
Glad you enjoyed it.
strange to have 2 fight scenes in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But it's
got a
very
quality
quick.
hit before the end of the arc.
I know. And again, we all show our strengths in these things. Lockhart's mind control. This time, Myr'ra's mind blast was enough. Was already injured. We knew that, but we didn't know what it would take to actually knock it over. So, yeah, we all play our parts in these things. We've all done our due diligence, shall we say? And it's just getting more and more interesting as we go along, and our characters are getting more and more interesting as we go along. So, yeah, another good session.
Yeah, definitely one of the highlights for me was just the Whisper Friends moment where you all got to just throw some ad-libbing in there. It was good. Very good fun. Got to like build on characters, even though we feel like we know a lot about them already. It's nice to then be able to share some of that with each other, and then maybe decide you've just learned something new yourself about your character. So it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Ignysera.
Oh yeah, that was really fun. I like a good interrogation type thing, even if like it's tough and we can't really get much out of them. Like it's still just they're always a fun thing to try and do. I'm excited to see what Grandmaster Gamble's like because I haven't met him before, so that's gonna be fun.
Strangely enough, neither have I.
Played by Ted Denson. If we could afford him.
Okay. So that's gonna be really fun. And yeah, wish we could have learned a bit more, but we did get some good things. And I don't know if there's like an extraction of some kind. That's really interesting.
There are
What
Rakishans
getting,
on patrol.
what's
You
going
could
on,
just go acquire another
what we
one.
can-
There's a lot of Rakishans to go around.
We can go and ask them. But yeah, sorry, I ended up saying the trigger phrase. Whoops. But yeah, I was just gonna be like, should we because this is kind of getting to an end. I was like, maybe I'll be nice and ask the person who's in charge whether they want this person dead or not, and then we didn't really get that choice. Yes, we
Yeah. You also got a trinket for your uncle as well.
And I got a trinket.
Yeah.
I got my hawk earrings.
Yep.
So, but yes, when I do give them to Uncle, I will not tell him what they glow for. I'll tell him that they glow, but he's got to figure it out because I think he'll enjoy it.
Yeah. Something as well that I don't normally do as well is I will tell you that in the alternate universe where you had chosen to let this thing go, she would have killed it with lightning as soon as it left the room. Just would like to give you the impression of you could all assume that's what she would have done, given her attitude to this liability.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have thought like she probably wouldn't have let it leave, but I was like, okay, see if we give
But
her the
good. No,
chance.
I like that. It's good to like defer, since she seems to be the elder.
Like it's her settlement. She's in charge. She should be the one that decides. Even Sarah wouldn't decide it.
That's good.
But yeah, it was really fun. Excited to see what happens next, and if we get into this Rakishan settlement or anything, it's going to be interesting.
I'm sure he'll find a way in somehow.
We'll find a way in. We won't just talk to Gumball for the whole time.
Are you Siri Thane? Do you know anything about Siri Thane?
Do you know about Siri Thane? But yeah, it was really fun. I'm excited to see Nori use his new bow as well. That's going to be pretty tasty, I think.
The bow blade, yeah. I've been waiting on that for quite a while, if I'm honest, myself, where I'm like, I need to maneuver pieces into place. I can't just have it happen instantaneously. And there was never an opportunity where Nori was willing to give up the bow at the same time as her having supplies to do it, etc. So now it was nice to be able to tick that off as well. Make sure you tell Falkwin that as well, because it's probably quite fun if his NPC gets to do stuff for people. Especially elven cultural significant weaponry,
Yeah.
I've done well out of her.
Yeah, you really have, with your gold bloom.
My golden bloom, aye.
Yeah.
The amulet and then the bow, yeah, I've done
It's almost
well.
to say that you might be second in line for worship after Falkwin, right? Build a following, right? Got to get that deification somehow. Apotheosis doesn't work itself. But yes. Anything else, Kalli? Good. Myr'ra.
Oh my goodness, so fun. Loved the interrogation. All the mind reading stuff's I like that play between what people think and what they say. I think that's fun to play with. I like the almost like restraints on it as well in this system. It was like a minute.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh no, we've actually got to talk quite fast. And try and like pick and choose. Because yeah, Lockhart's right. Like you throw more effort into things, you burn through them quicker. Which is a bit fun, scary. Yes. But I really like that we managed to figure out a way to make the cat attack first. I don't know if Myr'ra would have felt comfortable or okay I know we kind of knew it was able to break out and able to, but I think there's still that feeling of technically we've taken it captive. We probably shouldn't strike first.
Yeah.
So it making the first move allowed us to be hand no.
Definitely.
So I preferred that way of it happening. But yes,
it's almost reflexive that way as well, rather than it doesn't feel like you were
planned out.
Yeah. No intent on your part. It was defensive almost in the way of
protection. Yeah. I think Myr'ra's at least going to tell herself that in order to sleep. Loved that we've done a bit of trekking through the jungle. Excited to see where that goes. Fascinated. Are they gathering moonlight glass? What's on the front of the ship? What's so shiny? Is it silver? What's going on? Why are they getting out the island? Why have they made it shiny? Questions. Love that Gamble's alive. Love that he's in.
Burn it down.
Yeah. Love that he's in a Hawaiian shirt. Good for him. I'm so glad he's not dead. This is very nice. Excited to see where it goes.
Thank you. Who's giving XP to this week?
I vote Lockhart.
Yeah, I was going to say Lockhart as well. Doing the big job.
Well, so when Nori put in his suggestion of things today, I was like, no, that's very much a Nori thing to say. And I did like the way the conversation went there. That would be my vote.
I'm going to go Lockhart as well. Done a lot of the heavy lifting in that conversation. I would also go with Myr'ra just for that mind blast to get rid of the damn thing, but Lockhart done the heavy lifting there. So
I mean, he had to have a whole session to catch up on, so he did his fair share, I think, yeah. It does seem like all votes went to Lockhart, so well done. Enjoy your extra XP. Yeah, that was good. Obviously, we didn't take a break in that one as well. We're doing a slightly tighter session, slightly. Yep. Well, we're about 3.5 in this one rather than 5, so reasonably tighter. But I kind of knew where I wanted to end this one in terms of the pacing for it, and I was quite looking forward to getting the reveal of who happens to still be alive. Shenanigans afoot. But yes, thank you all for playing. Might be a little bit before we reconvene due to scheduling, but hopefully it won't be as long as we think. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye bye bye
Good night,
bye.
everyone.